Hey guys, welcome. What is your enemy's karma? I'm going to be taking a look at that today. This was requested by more than a few of my viewers. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, so I had a few of my viewers, I'm going to name a few of them here, who requested this reading, which is, what is the karma of your enemy? And their names are Kaja Mod, and I believe Seabreeze667 also agreed. So I'm here to do that for you guys today. All right. My name is Diana, Psychic Intuitive, and before you are 4 piles to choose from. Pile 1 is from the Tarot of the Mystical Moments, and the associated object is this spine and rib cage sticker. Pile 2 is from the Black Tarot, and the associated object is this hot air balloon sticker. Pile 3 is from the Tapped In Tarot, and the associated object is this hand holding on to this heart-shaped grenade. And number 4 is from the International Icon Tarot, and the associated object is this human head sticker. Please choose the pile that you feel the most attracted to. You may choose based on the sticker or choose based on the card backing. So you can assign each pile to a particular enemy of yours. If you have more than one enemy in mind, or you have 2 enemies or 3, you can assign a pile to each enemy to get the information as to what is their karma. Okay, what is their karma? Specifically also for hurting you, right? And for being just who they are and the actions that they've taken against you, or just what is their karma, right, guys? If you're undecided about which pile to go for, or you would like to choose an additional pile based on the zodiac of your enemy, maybe you know their zodiac sign, you can assign based on that as well. Okay, let me go ahead and add those zodiac signs for you. Be right back. So the associated signs for pile 1 are Aquarius, Gemini, and Sagittarius. The associated zodiac signs for pile 2 are Aries, Capricorn, and Leo. The associated zodiac signs for pile 3 are Cancer, Taurus, and Virgo. And for pile 4, we have Scorpio, Pisces, and Libra. If you feel called, you can assign a pile to your enemy based on their zodiac sign. Please take your time, pause the video if you have to, make your choice or choices, and I will see you at your reading or readings. Welcome to your reading, pile 1. So, what is your enemy's karma? Let's move your number over to the right. You chose this spinal column, rib cage, shoulder blade sticker, or the zodiac signs, Aquarius, Gemini, or Sagittarius. We're going to figure out what your enemy's karma is. First of all, we're going to start with how they hurt you, so that we can be sure we're on the right pile, so we can get some confirmation. So pile 1, your enemy, the way they hurt you, or your enemies. I feel like your enemy may have caused like instability and uncertainty in your life, kind of like muddied the waters or caused confusion in some type of way. They may have acted like they were undecided about you, or remained neutral towards you at a time when you needed someone to either take your side or clearly, reach out for you or support you and they decided to be stay still or remain neutral. So they refused to help you. That's possible. I'm also getting pile 1 that your enemy may have gotten in the way of your success in some type of way. Perhaps when it came to money, they may have stressed you out, maybe negatively impacted your health. They may have affected your sense of abundance. They may have caused you to have lean times where you didn't have as much money. Maybe it's maybe they didn't pay you, or maybe they took your money or stole money from you, or they scammed you, or they didn't give you everything you had coming. So maybe they underpaid you, didn't pay you enough, or they were stingy, or they knew you were in need and they could have helped you, but they refused to help you. They may have caused you stress and thereby caused you a health problem. Yeah, I feel like this person, pile 1, your enemy, they may, I'm gonna be honest, they may be a bit on the evil side, or they may be evil, or they nurture evil energy is inside of themselves, okay? Darkness. All right, let's take a look at how they hurt you specifically. Let's get more information from the tarot cards. We got the devil. Okay. So this person, pile 1, they may have been abusive. They may have been, they may have tried to tempt you, or they may have chained you down or kept you from breaking free. This person may have been possessive of you or controlling of you and wanted to sort of treat you like a puppet, tell you what to do, and disempower you. Basically, they wanted you completely disempowered, and they wanted to be or they were in complete control of you. This could have been an abusive, demanding boss, or maybe an ex-partner that was very controlling, dominating. They would say, maybe you wanted to go hang out with your friends and you're an adult, right? And they'd be like, no, I don't want you hanging out with your friends. You need to stay home with me. And you're like, but I'm an adult female or male and I can go out and do what I want. I'll be right back. And they just didn't want to give you your freedom, something like this. Or it could have been work related, where they didn't want to let you have time off whenever you needed it. They overworked you and they controlled you almost like you were a slave. I'm so sorry, pile 1, if this was the case. I feel like this could have been a very toxic relationship for you in multiple ways. I feel like this person also, it's possible for a few of you, this person may have been a tempter. They may have tempted you with things and wanted you, maybe they knew you were easily addicted to something, and they kept giving you things that were unhealthy for you, like candy or maybe even drugs, and they intentionally put these tempting things in front of you, and knowing that you would struggle, knowing that maybe you were weak in that regard, in order to sort of control you and keep you there, keep you trapped. Okay, that's one message coming through. You don't have to take it. You can let others have that message if it's not yours. We have the 3 of Wands. Okay, I feel like this person, pile 1, maybe the way they hurt you is that they didn't come through for you in ways that mattered, right? They didn't come through for you in ways that mattered. It's possible that they made you wait. They caused delays and frustration in your life. Almost like there were times you waited and waited and waited for this person or these people, and they wouldn't show up. Or they just turned out to be a very negative ally, a very toxic person to have around. They were one of the people that you used to depend on, but they were not good for you, pile 1. They hurt you. They were abusive. They took advantage of your time. They treated you like your time was not important or valuable. And so they took their sweet time showing up to places to do things with you. Say, for example, if there was an appointment or a date they took their sweet time showing up, or maybe they wouldn't even show up at all, and maybe they would stand you up. Or I'm so sorry, Pile 1, that you went through this. It's just important that we go through exactly what happened here so that you can feel certain about the messages that are coming after this, okay? Which we're going to go into what is their karma. That is what most of this reading is about. But first, we're going to look into how they hurt you so we can feel create some resonance and make sure that you're on the right pile, okay? Yeah, I'm just getting like a sense of delay for some reason for some of you. We have the 7 of Pentacles here again. We have more waiting, okay? They made you wait, Pile 1. They made you wait a long time, okay? Maybe they kept procrastinating or putting you off and putting you off, acting like you or your time was not important. And I feel like this may have tested your sense of self-esteem, made you feel like unworthy, like, you know, you may have felt at times like, wow, is this how I'm supposed to be treated? Am I not good enough? You know, that kind of thing. Perhaps you wanted to do some things with these people and they just didn't come through for you on their end of things. You know, maybe you all would make plans and then you'd be like, all right, here's my part of it. I'll go get ready by March 16th. I'll be ready with this thing. And then when it was time for them to show up for their thing, they didn't show up. So you would wait and wait. I feel like you worked really hard when you were with this person. Like you invested yourself in them or invested yourself in this situation. But it felt like there were meager returns. Like almost like you would get very few results, or the results you got were dissatisfactory. You just felt like your attention, your efforts, your patience went unrewarded. Pile 1. It could be also that you may have invested monetarily in this person and it just wasn't worth it. It's like they wasted your time, they wasted your money, and it's like it wasn't worth it. I do feel though like the investments like came through on your end. Like you did what you were supposed to do, but they didn't come through on their end, okay? In fact, I feel like you were very productive and very successful on the things you chose to work on, your part of it. But when it came to their part, like maybe this was a roommate or someone you did business with and you would just wait on them to bring their part of it in and they never did, or they would drag their feet or something like this. Next, we're getting the 4 of Wands. Yeah, they didn't support you, Pile 1. There's a lack of support here. It's almost like, yeah, I see some of you waiting at home for this person to come back and them not showing up. Or maybe they went off and going to go hang out with somebody else or do other things with other people and celebrate with other people while you were at home waiting and waiting. Or you were somewhere waiting, they would go party with other people. Or maybe they would date someone else while you waited for them to come back to you, but they treated you like you were the second fiddle or like you were the least desirable one while they went and had a good time with other people or other places. I feel like this person may have missed like birthdays or celebrating important milestones with you or events. Maybe they didn't show up. You would wait and wait for them to show up to your birthday, or wait and wait for them to show up to your graduation, and you know, after you've done so well and you're ready to celebrate all the good things, and they wouldn't show up. Okay. I feel like this person was like callous and uncaring towards your feelings, and they were just about what they wanted to go do, and almost like they were just laughing and partying the night away somewhere, and without giving you a thought, whereas you were so invested in them and invested in what y'all were doing together. It may be business related, it may be a friendship, it may be a relationship. I'm sorry, Pile 1. Let's go ahead and move on to the next few. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I feel like this person, it's like they threw a wrench into the works for you. Like, you prefer for things to flow smoothly, but they would like sabotage your system, what you had going for you. Like they would be the kink in your works, or the wrench in the works, and just sort of like discombobulate things for you. Okay. So it's like you had certain days and times, and they just didn't work well or flow well with your plans, and they made you feel unlucky at times. I feel like this person you may have felt like it was bad luck, like they brought you bad luck. You may have thought that at times, or felt like they brought a certain downturn of events towards you. Like, things would, like in your mind, or just in reality, if this person, your enemy, had not been a part of things, maybe things would have gone smoother for you. If someone else had been in their place, things may have gone smoother for you. They were definitely the problem, Pile 1. They brought you bad luck. They brought you misfortune. They kind of messed you up on, I'm talking about the past now. We're going to talk about what happened so we can create resonance, okay? And how they hurt you, so that we can go into in depth on their karma for this, what they did here. Yeah, I feel like you're a well-oiled machine, Pile 1. You're a well-oiled machine. And you're very, like, hardworking. I'm getting like well-laid plans of mice and men by John Steinbeck. Like, you plan things out. You're studious. You pay attention to details. You plan ahead. You work well. I don't know. It's like you're like a machine, Pile 1. Okay? You pay attention to your stuff. You take good care of your stuff, your hair, the way you dress, your investments, everything. But it's like they wanted to sabotage this, or they didn't care that you were so well put together. They didn't support it, or they didn't value or appreciate it, or something like this, okay? And then we're getting the Chariot. Pile 1, I feel like this person, they may have left you behind. They may have abandoned you. They had other goals, other ambitions that were more important to them than supporting you, or coming home to be with you, or celebrating with you, or showing it up at times when, they were important to you, or that you all had planned out together. This person, I feel like they had ambitions, certain ambitions. You can see them kind of wheeling away from you, that they cared way more about. I'm getting the whole, maybe like a workaholic partner who cares way more about their career than they care about the romantic relationship with you. I feel like also this person, alternatively for a few of you, this person may have been like I don't want to say they were a low life, Pile 1. Maybe they just weren't as disciplined as you, right? Maybe they used you because you were so industrious and reliable and had your stuff together. Maybe that's why they leaned on you, or they kind of took you for granted. That's another thing I wanted to say. They took for granted that you would be there, that you're salt of the earth. You're going to be there. Where are you going to go? So they would party or go do other stuff. Or maybe they were an addict, or they were involved in some type of illicit relationship. Maybe they cheated on you. That's possible for a few of you. Or they just had something else on their agenda. Or it could be also that they just weren't as hardworking as you. They were maybe more, they didn't have the same ambition or will or drive, and they prefer to just sort of like go have fun or something than hang out with you or support you. They just, I feel like you really, what I'm getting here, Pile 1, is like an imbalance of energies. Okay, you were bringing forth all this, like, stand up, I'm together, I'm ready for this type of energy, while they were like taken for granted and partying or doing other things. And I'm sorry that you went through this, Pile 1. That sounds awful. Let's go ahead and take a look at what their karma is for this. Be right back. Okay, let's see what their karma is, Pile 1. What is your enemy's karma? We have the Sun. Okay, the Sun. So, I'm getting Pile 1 that enemy's karma is that they're going to undergo some type of depression. I'm gonna get more information about this, but I'm getting that they will suffer depression or be very sad about something. Okay, they're gonna be sad about something. They may be sad about the fact that they lost a certain light in their life. Maybe they're gonna be sad about losing popularity or losing fame. They may become sad or depressed because of how popular or well liked you are. I feel like this person, they may go through a phase where they feel ashamed to be seen for some reason, or they just don't want to be seen. You know how sometimes people get depressed and then they don't want to go outside, they don't want to be seen, they want to hide. Interesting. Let's get more information about this card here. We are getting fishing for comments, boundaries, and burying themselves in work. Okay. So yeah, pile 1. I feel like their negative karma, pile 1, is that they are going to be locking themselves up. I do see, you know, kind of like I was saying, that they would want to stay inside, or yeah, they're going to be depressed also because of your boundaries. You're going to be depressed in the future because you're going to lock up your doors, or someone's going to lock them out. They're not going to have access to something. I'm also getting pile 1 that, you know, they're going to be sort of like locked down someplace where they're focusing on work. You know, I'm seeing a bunch of papers here. Now I'm seeing someone writing on a paper. So there's this idea that, you know, they're going to be depressed because of a few things. It's just going to be all work and no play, right? They're not going to have time to go do other stuff. They're going to be buried in work. And so they're not going to be able to get away from work. Also getting that there's going to be limits or restrictions placed on their lives in some type of way. And it's going to cause them a lot of depression. You know, and this depression is going to drive them to go get like, it's going to drive them to go get like counseling help or go to a therapist. They're just going to have those types of issues where it's like their life is going to be it's going to be drudgery filled. That's what the words I was thinking of, okay? Filled with drudgery, just work. And all while they're missing you or missing someone else or missing going outside or something. They're just going to have their head buried in work or something like this. And they're going to feel depressed because you're going to lock them out. But they're going to be wanting you to maybe comment on their profile or reach out to them or say something to them, and you're not going to do it. Or whenever you go through these periods of silence where you're not talking to them or acknowledging them, where you've put up your wall, they're going to be very depressed by this. So depressed, they're going to have to go talk to a therapist or a counselor about it. And they're going to bury themselves in work in order to get themselves to stop thinking about the heartbreak, pile 1, of you putting boundaries up and separating yourself from them. I also feel like if it's not you who's doing this to them, then they're going to undergo some sort of being pushed out or being locked out by someone they care about. And it's going to hurt them deeply. It's going to hurt them deeply. And they're going to want to sort of bury themselves or hide their face in shame, or they're not going to want to go outside. They're going to want to stay inside and focus on work. And I see them constantly checking their emails or checking for comments or checking for their social media or checking for something and not seeing anything there. Wanting a message either from you or from someone else and not getting it. Yeah, I just feel like part of their karma is to be depressed and feeling lonely and shut out from your glory, pile 1. From your glory. Or from someone popular or famous. You may be popular or famous, pile 1. And this is part of what's going to make them feel sad, is because you're going to lock them out and of your life, okay? And it's going to deeply depress them, and they're going to bury themselves in work to try to help themselves forget about it and stop thinking so much about it. And it's going to do a lot of emotional damage to them. And they're going to have to go get help from a therapist or talk it out with someone or something like this. They may even have to get medication, that's possible. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so next we're getting the King of Cups. And another thing I wanted to mention, pile one, is that this person, I think they thought that they had you under a stronghold. Like they thought that they had you like that, like they had you pinned down. And so part of why they're depressed is because not only did they not have you pinned down, they're realizing, but they're also realizing too that you have claimed your space and created boundaries. So not only do they not feel that they're in power of you, but they also feel like they're disempowered. In fact, that they've been cast out, that they've been exiled. And so this is a huge fall from grace in their mind. This is part of their negative karma. We have the King of Cups on top of the Three of Wands. Okay. This is their negative karma. We're getting more emotional imbalances here as well. Pile one. The King of Cups is, I'm getting like moodiness vibes. Maybe you know, they're being treated coldly. Your enemy is being treated coldly, either by you or by other people. And they are very afraid. They have a lot of fear. Maybe they used to emotionally manipulate you, something like this. Let's get more information. We have SOS. Yeah, they're all kinds of emotionally disturbed. That's their negative karma right now. Okay, they're emotionally disturbed. SOS, distress, act with urgency, assistance needed. And we also have closed off. Exactly. We had the boundaries of the padlock, locking them out. And look, the legs are closed. Someone's no longer sleeping with this person as well. I feel like if it's a romantic situation, then they're not getting sex. And this is something that has them all types of frustrated and hurt and moody. I mean, almost like they're used to, or maybe they feel entitled to sex. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So, pile one, their negative karma, your enemy's negative karma is that their health is hurting right now. They're hurting. They feel anxiety. They feel panicked. They feel panicked because, again, with the boundaries, with the padlock, we got the legs crossed. They feel shut out, you know, boundaries closed off. And they're in a state of panic over this, okay? They're also panicked because they're realizing that you can do without them, okay? We're getting the sun here, we're getting the sun there. That your sun is shining brightly, pile one. The sun is shining brightly, and I think that they are hurt because they're seeing that you're doing okay without them while they're in a state of panic, okay? They're seeing that maybe they thought they were invaluable to you in some type of way. Maybe emotionally, they thought that you were emotionally addicted to them, and now they're realizing that whatever benefits that came along with them, whether they thought maybe they were helping stabilize your emotions, or whether you depended on them for your happiness, or whatever it was, that you having shut them out they're realizing that you're making do without them. You're making do without them, Pawan. And that your life is shining regardless. That you are making lemonade out of your lemons. And they're watching you shine. I feel like they may be able to see your social posts. For some of you, they may be able to see your social media. Or they can see how you're doing. And they're realizing, oh my gosh, Pawan's out there just... They're in their garden, now they're doing this, and now they're doing that, and they're laughing about this joke, and, you know, they're laughing and being happy and doing their thing, and they are all kinds of shook up about this, pile one. They are afraid. They are in a state of anxiety over you or someone no longer allowing them intimacy, no longer allowing them to be part of that intimate space any longer. Yeah, I feel like your enemy's karma is to watch you shine, Power 1. Watch you glow. Watch you be filled with vitality. Perhaps this person is watching you go have a partnership with someone else. If this is business, then they are aware, perhaps this is public knowledge, that you've moved on to find another business partner, or that you have moved on to another relationship, and this relationship is doing very well. You're very happy in this connection, or you're very happy in this partnership, and they're all torn up about this because they no longer have access to you intimately, and they are hurting over it. They are in a state of anxiety and stress over this, Power 1. Okay, let's move on to your next column. Okay, so next we're getting the King of Swords on top of the Seven of Pentacles. Looks like we have someone here who there's a cruelty here, okay? There is a sort of a manipulativeness here as well, okay? Might be going on. Perhaps they're being treated in a very cruel way. This is your enemy's karma. Maybe they're being manipulated. Let's get more information. We got massive regrets, okay? We have twisted narrative. You've been clinging to a version of events that lets you stay angry, stay right, or stay stuck. And that story is your cage, okay? Interesting. And then we're also getting enlightened for 4 hours, okay? So, Power 1, your enemy's negative karma is that I feel like your enemy thinks that they're right about something. They do. They think that they're right about something. But what ends up happening is after they've remained in this phase for a while, I'm right about this. They messed me up. I'm in the right about this or that. And Power 1 messed me up. And it was Power 1's fault. And I can, so they sometimes have a hard time breaking out of this. But the negative karma in this is that sometimes they have an epiphany. They've been having epiphanies, moments where they're enlightened, okay? And realizing that, oh my gosh, I messed up. Oh my gosh, I really regret the way I treated Power 1. I value what they brought to the table. I'm missing out. I was wrong. I was cold. I was cruel to Power 1. And they have a lot of regret over it. Now, I feel like these are phases though. They kind of have these spells. And so the regret is just, it's really hard for them to take. Because I feel like they're not, this person, Power 1, they're not used to being the regretful one. They always think they're right. But lately, their karma has been that you have been, the way things have worked out has forced them into a state of self-reflection to where they're having these awakening moments and realizing, oh my gosh, but I did this to Power 1 and I did that to Power 1 and I didn't do this to Power 1 and I failed Power 1 in this regard. Oh my gosh, I was wrong. And so they feel a lot of regret, and along with that regret comes a certain type of pain, Power 1, okay? So I feel like they have started having an awakening and realizing that they were twisting the narrative to make themselves look good, all right? And so they've been having these moments, especially if you know them to drink, okay? If they're a drinker, there are times they've been drinking, and just as an example, okay, and it's just hit them like a ton of bricks. It's just hit them like a ton of bricks, Power 1. They're just like, oh my gosh, I have been lying to myself about this. I didn't see where I was wrong. I'm clearly wrong about some things about the way Power 1 was treated. See, this is a big deal for this person because they always view themselves as right They always view themselves as right about everything. So they have these moments now, they're starting to, where the light comes out of the sky and their eyes are open and the scales fall from their eyes. And they're like, oh my gosh, I was wrong. I was wrong about the way I treated Pile 1. And this is very hard for them to take, because it's just hard. You know, when you have regret and it's like if something's broken and you can't go back and fix it, and it sucks, and how could you have been this way? You know, when you really, really feel that, it can be horrible, right, guys? How can you go back and fix something when you can now see in retrospect the role you played when you didn't see it before, right? How would you feel? So this is very hard for them to take. So they are growing through this, but like I said, it's like short-lived. It's a phase. They go through these phases, maybe when they're drinking, or when they're out running, or there's just something they're doing, and it becomes, they'll just see it all of a sudden, how they were an ass to you, how they messed up. And so this is part of their negative karma at this time. Next, we're having the Two of Cups on top of the Four of Wands, which also has two people there. We have two people here. Two of Cups. Okay. What is their negative karma? All right. So their negative karma has something to do with a relationship or a reunion. Maybe they want to reunionize or reunite and become one again with someone or something. Maybe they want to kiss and make up, and they can't do that now. Maybe it's too late. You got poverty, exactly. Maybe they want to reunite with you, Pile 1, okay? But they feel, again, shut out. You can see these people out here on the streets, and there's a wall. We got a wall here, okay? So I'm just getting this idea, like, I also feel like this person may feel like they lost out financially from you. They may have lost out financially. And this is how they are hurting karmically right now, is they would like to be in this beautiful garden again, where, you know, they were held close and things were being given to them. They were getting to partake in something beautiful, but now they are outside where they're lacking. Their resources are meager, and they are maybe possibly even destitute. They're homeless, possibly, or jobless. Okay, they're in a state of desperation. Pile 1. We got locked gate. Oh my! How many locked gates do we need, guys? How many locked gates do we need? We have a locked gate here. You saw that earlier. We got the legs being crossed. That's a locked gate. We got that wall. Look, we got another locked gate. So Pile 1, they're locked out. It's like they were kicked out of paradise. You know how in the Bible, Adam and Eve were kicked out of paradise and the gates were shut and they were locked out forever from this beautiful place where there were all these nice things. And it's because they did not act ethically correct, so they were kicked out. This is their karma at this point, okay? Their karma, oops, let me get that hair off my finger. We have when you lost something important. You see, they've lost you or something important in their lives. I feel like they were either fired from their job, they're jobless right now. They no longer have access to certain opportunities. They feel like, you know, there was something important to them in you that they lost, Pile 1, or in your situation that they lost, okay? They feel like they've been barred out. They're no longer allowed into this beautiful place. And they are starving for your love, Pile 1, or starving for love in general. They're starving in love from a certain source. It could be their relationship with someone else, maybe their relationship with you, or it could be, I think there's a woman or a partner involved here. If it's a man, if this is a man we're talking about, they're feeling locked away from a beautiful woman who they found very sexually attractive. Or maybe they realized that too late. I don't know. But they're realizing now that that is done with. They no longer have access, and they're lacking in resources, and they're broke, or they're homeless, or they're jobless, or they're not living in an area that's very poor. compared to where they used to live. Okay? Now it's just work, work, work. No warmth, no love, no intimacy, panic attacks. They're blocked out. A place they took for granted that they had access to, they no longer have access to. And they're really feeling the pain of it because there is a sense of loss. There's a sense they lost something important. Look, they're rummaging around in this box looking for it. It's gone, honey. There's this sense like, there are no opportunities. The opportunities are gone. This is their negative karma. Okay? They are now suffering because they were shut out. They were kicked out and they are now barred out. Okay. Let's move on to your next column. So we are getting the Ace of Pentacles on top of the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. This has to do with luck, money, offers, opportunities, feeling abundant, okay? Feeling like you have access to more, okay? This is where they're feeling negative karma is in this regard. Then we have inability to learn from past mistakes. We're getting the past mistakes being highlighted here. Wheel, indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. And anchor, stability, grounding, hope, safety, resolve, steadfastness. We're seeing 2 wheels here. So, pile 1, the way your enemy is suffering right now is they want stability in their lives. They want a place to be anchored into. You can see the plant growing out, deep roots. Got the anchor. They want to be anchored. They want to feel like they belong somewhere. But instead, their life is having to sort of ramble around aimlessly. So what I'm getting from this pile 1 is they may be homeless. Or they may feel like they don't have a place where they belong right now. All right. And it's all because they refuse to learn from the mess ups of the past. They struggle there for some reason. They keep repeating the same thing. I see these cycles. They keep repeating. Pile 1. And so, where they keep repeating the same mistakes. And so what's going to end up happening is they're going to continue to be unanchored, or if they find a place to anchor, soon they will be unanchored and wheeling around aimlessly all over again. So what I'm seeing, pile 1, is that their karma is to always be rambling around aimlessly, not knowing where they belong, not finding where they belong, because they have issues and they can't. Maybe they can't, or they refuse to. I don't know which it is. Grow up. Okay? They need to grow up in some type of way when it comes to taking care of the things that are offered to you. If you're offered something, take good care of it. Water it. Talk to it. Be tender to it. Pay attention. Feed it. And it's like, I feel like they are sort of doomed to repeat this cycle, pile 1. To repeat this again and again. And I feel like they're going to struggle when it comes to this, pile 1. They're going to struggle. And I feel like it's going to be a very long time before they learn what they're doing wrong and how to fix it. And so that they can feel a sense of stability, a sense of grounding. That's been taken away from them at this point, okay? They're on the road again. They may be living out of their car. I feel like they don't feel safe. There's a loss of hope. They feel like their life is unstable. Whereas they feel like they used to have that with you. They don't have it anymore. They took it for granted, so they lost it, you see. Or the situation they had going with you, they lost it. And so now it's like they kind of like don't know where to go, and they're just kind of all over the place. This is part of their negative karma. Be right back. And for the final column, we have the 2 of Pentacles on top of the Chariot. Okay. Next, we're getting cutting ties, expired and discontinued use. Wow. The message is very clear, pile 1. Their negative karma is that they've been cut off. They've been barred out. They've been kicked out. You know, I'm also getting like a cord cutting. Some of you, this person, your enemy, maybe they're not aware of it, but they've been cut off. Maybe cut off from funds or energetically cut off, like cord cutting. You know, they've been let go of. They've been viewed as unnecessary and trimmed off. Okay. Next, we're getting the other person. Okay, maybe because they cheated. For some of you, maybe they cheated. Your romantic interest may have romantic feelings for other individuals besides you. Yeah. So the way they are hurting right now, pile 1, and I kind of got that earlier with this couple in here, is that they're getting to see someone else being in a relationship with someone they care about. They're getting to see someone they're in a relationship with be with someone else. Okay, this could be you, pile 1, or it could be that this is a pain they're currently going through in their life. Okay, apart from you, is that they found a relationship and they messed that up. They're continuing these mistakes, and the person that they were into has found someone else. This person could be you, and they are in a state of deep emotional pain, sorrow, unhappiness. And it's caused by their past actions and decisions. They brought this upon themselves, pile 1. They are now, I feel like this person may have used to be a player or something. And that's just an example. They may have used to be a player or thought, oh, I'll always have a plethora of options of women or men who want me. Or I'll always have opportunities. I'll always have this. I'll always have that. And they took you for granted, pile 1, when you or the situation they had in hand was a beautiful thing. Beautiful. And now they're feeling the pain of regret. They're feeling the pain of being shut out. They're feeling the pain of feeling like they don't belong anywhere. You know, they're realizing now just how valuable this is. To have a place that you belong. To have a place you call home. To say, I belong with that person. I belong with pile 1. That's my person. How valuable that is. They underestimated it, pile 1, and now they're suffering because they have been discontinued. They've been cut off. So this could be, if it's a business, maybe this is someone who, a contractor or a business partner who refused to show loyalty to the business, and there was a parting of ways, and now there's a bunch of regret over this, a lot of sorrow, because now they've seen you maybe partner up with someone else, a different partner, financially or romantically or business-wise or work-wise or project or something, or maybe a different friend. They've just seen like that someone is doing without them, and someone has cut them off. You can see the scissors there, and they are in a state of mourning over this, pile 1. They're in a state of mourning. Depression, like you would not believe. I got depression here, we got depression there. We got emotional instability, feeling moody, feeling like their emotions are being dashed about like the choppy waters of a stormy sea. They're witnessing your glory. They're witnessing someone having a great relationship. That could be you, pile 1. Okay, someone having a fantastic relationship, but in their situation, the legs are closed. In their situation, they've been locked out. In their situation, they've been cut off. In their situation, they've been locked out again. Here, they're in a state of sorrow. They're in a massive state of sorrow, and they regret what they did. I feel like they had convinced themselves for so long that, they didn't do anything wrong, that they were the victim, or that you were the one with the problems. But they're starting to see that they have problems, that they did you wrong, and they regret it. But it's almost like it's too late, Wow. And that's what I'm seeing the cards for you, pile 1, as far as what is your enemy's karma. If you've enjoyed this reading, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I would love to chat with you. Take good care of yourself, and I'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye. Welcome to your reading, pile 2. So what is your enemy's karma? Today we're going to be finding out. We're moving your number over here to the side, pile 2. You chose this hot air balloon sticker, or maybe you did not. You may or may not have chosen this Aries sign, Capricorn, and Leo. Okay, so pile 2. First of all, you know how I like to do it. I like to take a look at how your enemy hurt you, just so we can create a some resonance here, and we can make sure that you're at the right pile for you before we go on to look at what is your enemy's karma. We're gonna get all this information, and then when you're convinced and you feel like, okay, yeah, you know, Diana's got it locked in, she's on it, the money, as far as who the enemy is and how they treated me, then we can see what their negative karma is going to be at that point. Pile 2. Let us begin. So pile 2, I feel like this person, the way they hurt you, they may have hurt you by, maybe they didn't respect your down-to-earth nature. They didn't value your practicality and your groundedness. I'm also getting that maybe this person, they were like here today, gone tomorrow. They didn't want to be stable for you. This might have had something to do with like a relationship of some type. It may be a love relationship. It could have been a friendship. It could have been a familial relationship. Yeah, it could have been a friendship. But I'm also getting like this person, I feel that they weren't really there for you. It's possible they kind of abandoned you. It's possible. Or they didn't want to give you a sense of stability, or they sort of challenged your sense of stability, or they didn't value your stability and your simplicity. Maybe this person was very extravagant and they like to be loud, and you know, maybe they were a big spender or whatever, and you like to just keep things down to earth and keep things practical and basic. Maybe there was a clash of values. That's possible with this person. Maybe you all want to do something, but you were approaching it very differently. Okay. I'm also getting pile 2, like this person, perhaps they weren't very calm. Maybe they hurt your calm. They put a hurt on your calm, pile 2. They stressed you out, possibly. Maybe they didn't want to forgive you, or you didn't want to forgive them. Something about communication. It could have been they told you something that maybe their communication skills sucked, right? And they weren't very good at communicating certain things to you in a way that promoted harmony and peace. Maybe they communicated in ways that caused problems and chaos, and maybe there was arguments too. Maybe there was constant bickering, or there was constant like fights or arguments, and so they hurt your peace in this way. They bothered you. This person bothered your sense of serenity and peace and calm. I feel like this person, yeah, they may have had a temper or had like an anger problem, or they just conflicted with you, and they clashed with your desire to want to be peaceful, to want things to be peaceful. They went about things the confrontational, conflicted way, and that goes against the way you like to do it. Maybe you like to speak quietly and take your time and communicate peacefully, and you know, maybe you state their opinion, they state their opinion, and keep things calm. But instead, they like to like maybe compete their perspective with your perspective. They like to fight, or they brought fights into your life. Maybe they triggered you into a state of anger, and they made you explode. Maybe and that's not like you. Maybe that's very unlike you, and they brought this out in you. That's a possibility. Just take it as it resonates and leave the rest for others. Pile 2. Whew, it was definitely like a dark energy is what I'm getting. Like, you know, something that needed to be repelled. You needed to repel this person because they weren't good for your aura. They weren't good for your energy. Let's see what the tarot cards are saying. We have the High Priestess. Okay. So, how did they hurt you? Yeah, this person hurt your peace. They hurt your peace. Pile 2. They may have had a hidden agenda against you. Maybe you didn't know it at the time. Maybe now you do. But maybe they hid things from you. They hid secrets from you. They may have they may have, yeah, hidden certain truths from you. They didn't want to show you everything. Okay. Yeah, it may have misrepresented. They may have lied by omission, right? That's possible. I feel like this person, they may have betrayed your trust, and maybe they let your secrets out. Maybe they like gossiped about you or let people know about what was going on, the chaos in the home, or maybe you like to keep your secrets to yourself, and they upset this. Okay, they let people know what was going on with you. They betrayed your privacy. That's a possibility for some of you. This person maybe they didn't have a sense of the sacred. They didn't understand that some things are sacred, and they didn't treat you like you were sacred. Okay, this bred mistrust. The word secret keeps coming up, like not just sacred, but also says secret. They may have let the cat out of the bag in some manner, and I'm so sorry if this person betrayed your business out there. We got the 5 of Wands. I'm seeing also, just most importantly, that they just put a hurt on your calm, pile 2. They disturbed you. They disturbed your energy. You like to keep things sacred, spiritual, calm, and they brought conflict. You're getting the 5 of Wands, you see? There was a clash with this person, okay? Perhaps you guys disagreed on the way to go about things. This may have been an ex of yours. This may have been a friend of yours. This may have been a co-worker of yours. This may have been someone you used to, deal with kind of intimately, or maybe intimately, or just you knew them well, or you had to deal with them a lot. You may be a co-parent with this person. And you had shared goals at one time, but you conflicted with this person on how to go about it exactly, okay? You had a different point of view with this person, from this person. I feel like this person, they would fight you in front of people that you didn't want people to see you fighting. That's what it is too. I'm getting that for a few of you. Like, this person didn't have tact. They didn't have, like, okay, I have a disagreement with Pile 2. I'm going to wait till I can go talk to Pile 2 privately about this and let them know how I'm feeling. Because, but they would just put it all out there and let everybody see it, and let kids see it, and let your friends see it, and let strangers see it. That's for some of you. Or you just didn't like how they didn't value calm. You didn't like it. Okay, Pile 2. Next, we have the 9 of Coins. This person, I feel like they disrupted the order in your life. You're very, I don't know, I feel like I want to say you're posh or bougie, Pile 2. Or you have this very, organized together vibe that you like, prim and proper. And this person clashed with that. Yeah, so I feel like this person, maybe they were part of a very beautiful relationship with you at one point, or they were a part of your orderly, refined, bougie life, but they brought an element of chaos and conflict into it that you did not like at all. Okay, perhaps they kind of chafed against this sort of prim and proper vibe that you like to do, and they couldn't be this with you. It's possible, and they kind of resisted it. That's another possibility. We're getting Judgment. So you had an awakening, you had an epiphany, and you realized, no, this isn't for me. This person is not for me, or this situation is not for me, or my life is not supposed to be like this. This person you may have realized this person was not woke, okay? Maybe they were the opposite of you, and you're woke, Pile 2. And when I mean woke, I don't mean political. I just mean spiritually. You are awake to yourself, and you have certain high standards of how you should comport yourself and how you should live your life. And, you're able to see yourself. You have a certain level of self-reflection, and maybe this person lacked self-awareness, and you realize they just were not on your level, Pile 2. You realize this, and this is part of it. Is you woke up to the fact that this person maybe lacked self-awareness, or they were still asleep, basically. Okay, spiritually, maybe they're just spiritually immature. That's another thing another message coming through. I feel like this person, maybe they maybe they doubted you, or they doubted your energy, even though you were putting out certain clear vibes, like, I am polished, I am refined, I'm spiritual, I am calm, I prefer peace. You were putting all these signs and signals out, but yet still they doubted you. Okay, they doubted you, and it could be also that they maybe made a spectacle of you, in a sense, like maybe they made you a scapegoat. Yeah, they maybe took certain things out on you. Okay, they may have scapegoated you and may have projected onto you, that you were the one who lacked awareness. You were the one who didn't do peace, when really they were the ones bringing a lot of the chaos and the conflict. Okay, they were the ones who didn't have good. It would have taken like a freaking angel to get peace out of this person, pal, too. Okay, it would have taken like some sort of perfect being to do peace around this person, or it would have taken you being like a doormat for this situation to be peaceful. That's what it would have taken. They were basically saying my way or the highway, or in order to have peace with this person, you would have to just be like swallow everything they were putting out and never stand up for yourself. Never say, well, but that's not okay. If you ever said, well, I'm not comfortable with that, why don't we try it like this? If you ever said that was going to be a problem. That was going to be a fight. Okay, no matter how calmly you said it, no matter how respectfully you stood up for yourself, they seem to have a problem. Okay, and I feel like they made a martyr out of you. Okay, and I feel like this person stalled your life. They stalled the progression of your life. They stalled the progression of your life. You felt like your life came to a standstill when you were with this person or dealing with this person. Like, oh my gosh, I can't make progress. I can't, your life wasn't flowing. Things stagnated. Perhaps your spirituality stagnated, or your lifestyle stagnated, and you had this trajectory you were on, but you recognized because of this person's presence, your life was coming to sort of a spiritual standstill, if you will. Okay. Next, we're getting Father of Baskets, okay, which is the equivalent of the King of Cups. I feel like this person, they weren't supportive of you. They weren't supportive of the way you wanted to live your life, pile two. They weren't, they may have been sort of cold to you or moody. They may be moody. I'm getting like a relationship here. The relationship vibes very strongly here, pal, too. Mainly like a love relationship, or maybe possibly a friendship, or it could have been a familial thing, maybe a father figure or brother, or I don't know. Okay, or just someone, a friend, maybe a roommate. I just get like that this person, you needed them to go out and to get their act together and be calm and go out and go do the things that you needed them to do, be useful. And it feels like they failed you in that regard. They spent too much time butting heads with you instead of being useful. They spent too much time projecting issues onto you rather than taking responsibility and helping to support this beautiful life that you were trying to build together with this person. Or maybe you were trying to sort of have a reality or an existence next to this person, and you were hoping it would work out okay, maybe you'll co-parent or something in peace. But no, it was just too chaotic. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at what is the karma of this enemy of yours. We have the Four of Coins, okay, on top of the High Priestess. Four of Coins. Let's move this over. So this is someone locking something up, locking something away, refusing to share, hoarding, setting something, hiding it, even something, hiding something, got left hanging. Okay, feeling all alone because someone didn't answer the call, navigating through tough times when it feels like no one's there for you. We're getting Fly, a period of ill health and depression. Oh yeah, we got someone in a state of distress here. enemy's karma is they're hurting, pile 2. They're hurting. They're in a state of distress because either someone's being stingy with them, could be you. Someone's decided, I'm keeping my things away from you. I'm no longer going to share my resources, my money with you. Maybe they called you asking for financial help, or someone they called to ask for financial help, and they're not getting help. And this is putting them into a state of depression. They're not being shared with like they were. I feel like this person has a bit of a bougie air as well. They're used to living a fancy life. There's certain luxuries, certain assistance they were getting. They're not going to be getting anymore. We got inability to find peace or calm. What did I say? Pile 2. This person fundamentally, innately, okay, is not a peaceful or calm person. They struggle with this. They do. And they're still struggling with it right now. And this is part of what's making them be viewed as an annoyance. Okay. And it's gross, pile 2. They're being viewed as gross. They're being left hanging. They are not at peace. They're hurting right now, big time. Emotionally, they're a mess, pile 2. And it's all because either you lock them out, or you stop sharing money with them financially, or you have limited or restricted things. Somehow they're not getting as much as they were, or they no longer have access to something. Okay. And it's like they're calling, texting, trying to get back that access. And so it could be you that's doing this, or it could be someone else that's doing this, or some situation in life that they're dealing with where it feels like they're no longer being, like if something was flowing before, where they were always getting this, always getting that, always getting this, always getting that, that's done. Okay. That flow has ceased. And it's like, they no longer have access to either money, wealth, or something. And if they need, they have to call and ask. And then when they call and ask, they're put through the Inquisition. Okay. What do you need that for? Why do you need it? What's going on? It's like, it's just so stressful for them right now. They are deeply unhappy and unsettled over this switch up, if you will. Okay. Interesting. So this is their negative karma. All right, let's see what else is going on here with your enemy's karma. We have the Ace of Knives. Okay. On top of the Five of Wands. Yeah, that's been cut off, right? We stopped the fighting now. Okay. There's no longer anyone to fight with anymore. Okay. It's like a light bulb went off for you, pile 2. You realized, oh, as long as this person is in my life, as long as I'm around, they'll view me as that's the one you fight. That's the one you clash with. That's the one you argue with. And part of their karma right now that they're dealing with is you've cut that off. You maybe removed yourself from the situation. There's been clarity. There's been a separation's even been made with the Ace of Knives popping up. Pile 2. A breakthrough. All right. And let's get more information. We have Labyrinth. Okay. So this is a very confusing situation that's very hard to navigate. All right. Situations that are often difficult to understand or solve, complex, and where finding a way out is challenging. Interesting. Next, we have new relationship. Unexpected love catches you off guard. Okay. Let's keep it moving here. We have liar, fabricator, and storyteller. So, pile 2, I feel like the karma that your enemy is undergoing right now is that they're realizing that they're now being viewed for what they are. They're not being viewed for what they are. Maybe they lied. Maybe they're a consummate liar. Maybe they present mistruths constantly. And now they're being viewed for as what they are. Okay, that's one message coming through. And take it if it resonates. If it doesn't, leave the rest for others. I'm getting also that the karma that they're undergoing right now is maybe if you are an ex of theirs, you may have found another relationship and they're witnessing this. They're realizing that to come back from this, how bad things have been, it's going to be very hard, pile 2. They're trying to understand it, see if they can navigate their way back into your space. but they're just lost, pile 2. It's very confusing because they never had a grasp of what it took to get along with you or get along with the situation properly in the first place. They never really had a grasp of it because, remember, like I said, they lack self-awareness to some degree, so much so that it makes it really hard to conduct a peaceful relationship with this person. And so what I'm getting, pile 2, is that this person, they're realizing that maybe you have a new relationship in your life, or maybe they're dealing with a situation where they were caught and found out to be a liar. They were found to be a liar. I also feel, pile 2, like this person may have found a new relationship and they're feeling very stuck, okay? They may be dealing with someone who lies to them a lot, or they may be feeling like, oh my gosh, this relationship is even way more complicated than the one I had with pile 2, okay? Which is you're pile 2. So I feel like this person may have found another relationship, but it's not going well. It's a very complicated, complex, labyrinthine type of relationship, and it's very challenging for them. And they're having to lie their way through it, or they're dealing with a liar in the relationship. So they have problems, pile 2. If they moved on into a new relationship, it's not all hunky-dory, happy endings for them. It's not, okay? You can see the stress on the forehead. They're under a lot of stress navigating this relationship that they're in. In the meantime, you've done away with this person. You have clarity now, okay? While they have complexity and confusion and mess and feeling lost, having to lie their way through. They've had to lie so much, they're confused about their own lies, pile 2. They can't keep track of their lies in this other connection. If it's with you that they lied, they're now realizing that they can't navigate their way back to, being pure again with you because they've lied so much, okay? And they can't do it. It's lost. They're locked out just by reason of how much how poorly they conducted themselves in the connection with you. I'm getting like a relationship out of this as well. It could be a relationship, it could be a family thing, but just apply it to your situation as it fits. Okay. Yeah, we're seeing Pinocchio here. So they're having to lie to this person in order to keep things going in this relationship that they're in. Yeah, they can't be straightforward with the person that they're with. It's too much. It's like they can't be the person. They can't actually be the person that they're needed to be, okay? If they're in another relationship or another situation or situationship or in another partnership, they have to lie in order to look good. They can't. Being themselves is not enough. Being themselves is not enough. Pile 2. Okay, in order to make this relationship work, they're having to stretch things. Okay. All right, let's move on to your next situation. We got the Ace of Baskets on top of the 9 of Coins. And so this is the Ace of Cups. This is matters of love, relationships. This could be psychic or spirituality, psychic powers or spirituality. Very interesting. Okay, we're getting, this is what their karma has to do with. Should have been arrested. Oh my gosh. I don't think they treated you well, pile 2. Okay, they should have been arrested for the things they did. So I'm getting pile 2 that they may have been arrested. I think they may have tried whatever they did with you with someone else. Maybe they pretended to love someone else and this other person was like, no. Oh, look at all the other people they tried. Okay. This person may be a serial cheater or a serial liar or a serial bad relationship person. So the problem wasn't you, pile 2. I mean, we all have our faults, okay? But I feel like your enemy brought certain faults to the situation. Just, by virtue of their past history. You can look at their past history and see the pattern. They just, X relationship. We got the whispering wall. The voices you silence still find cracks to speak through. So they wanted to hide this. But now they cannot hide from their past history. They cannot hide from the fact that they're not a good relationship person, that they have done, or that they're not they have some major faults. And I feel like the karma that they're going through right now is that they're being, either they've been arrested for the wrong they did to these people that they dealt with, or women or men, or they are now in the guilty seat. They're now in the hot seat because they're starting to be called out by all the other people that they dealt with, all the other customers that they messed with, all the other relationships that didn't go well. You know, it's like the truth cannot be avoided that they were the problem. Okay, next we have ailing person. See, they're the ones who are sick in the head, pile 2. I feel like pile 2, they may be dealing with like a criminal record. This is their negative karma. They may be dealing with a criminal record right now, dealing with the law, dealing with exes that they have to answer to, or people that they dealt with in the past, maybe customers that they scammed or shafted. And these secrets are coming back to haunt them to the point where they got arrested because they scammed others. That's coming through for a few of you. This might be true for a few of you, okay? Take it as it resonates. If you're aware that this person had others they had scammed, or had others that they had mistreated, or they have a long history of doing what they did with you, they have a long history of doing this with others, know that they are currently facing the consequences. You see how they're hanging their head in shame and they're being arrested. You know, they've been caught, pile 2. They can no longer run away from their negative past. They're being made to answer to it, either before a judge, or they're being sued by these people, or they've been arrested, they've been charged. And I see that they're not doing very well. This may have affected their health negatively. For a few of you, they may have had to, maybe they ended up in a being quarantined, or in a hospital situation, or whatever, and they were forced to tell the truth. They're forced to say, maybe because they were in a state of vulnerability at this time, maybe they were sick at the hospital, literally, or they just had their back against the wall in some type of way, or the cops had them or something, and they were forced to tell people, I'm in a bit of a pickle, and it's because I did this, and I'm like this, and I'm a horrible person, and I did this to person A and person B and person C. They're having to confess, they're having to come clean, and they're having to face consequences right now when it comes to love relationships too. I'm seeing that. Okay? Relationships that they've had in the past. Or it could be people that they love, or should have, or people who love them. Matters of the heart. So the karma here is that they're having to deal with the consequences. They're reaping the consequences of being a bad person in relationships, or in the realm of love, or in the realm of just even familial relationships. Because, you know, I'm seeing maybe a father and a son here. Yeah, okay. They're having to fess up. They're having to own up, and it's hard. It's like having a reckoning. You know, we're seeing the Judgment card here. You know, part of it is maybe they're having a reckoning. They're having a wake-up call. They're having to be told, all right, time to give it up. Tell us what's going on. The gig's up. Let us know what's happening. And they're having to face up to this. So this is their negative karma. Oops. Next, we're getting the Devil. Oh my goodness. On top of Judgment. This is their karma. This is their karma. So I feel like they're having to deal with a situation where they're being oppressed or suppressed, or dealing with a situation where they're being controlled like a puppet. It could be an addiction. It could be that they are dealing with forces in their life that's keeping them oppressed, or maybe they're being abused right now in some type of way. Tears? What tears? Denial, emotional leak, pretense. So they may be caught up in a relationship or some type of situationship where they're being mistreated, pal, too. I kind of picked up on that here. They're having to lie their way through a relationship. They live in a nest of lies. So I'm getting that they part of their karma, pal, too, is that this enemy of yours is that they're currently hurting over being mistreated, being enslaved. This could be like owing debts to people, and you're like, you have to pay back those debts, or else your ass is going to jail. You know, like, you know, they're just being held down and being made to deal with certain things. And, you know, they're pretending they're not sad though. They're pretending that it's okay. If you see them and they seem happy, they're probably going to seem happy when you see them, pal, too. But they are crying and in pain over some situation where they're being suppressed or being mistreated. Okay, let's get more information. We have beyond chasing. There's a point where effort becomes resistance. Let go of the scramble. Let the universe meet you halfway. So, pal, too, I feel like this person, they're addicted to something. It says chasing. They are addicted to something, maybe something that doesn't want them back, or they're chasing something that is not good for them. Okay, it could be a substance, it could be a person, they could be going after a karmic who keeps mistreating them and they can't stop, or they keep going after a certain type that keeps abusing them, keeps hurting them, and they keep going, why can't I find a good one? Why is it every time I find the one I want to be with, they treat me like crap? It's because their picker's off and they're locked into this contract with negativity. And they find themselves keep chasing that which brings them pain. We have, see, no strings. We got a heartbreak here. So I feel like this person, the person that they're in a relationship with, they fight a lot. Or they are getting with people, like I said, they keep choosing someone they want to be with who doesn't want to be with them. Who keeps mistreating them. Who's like, but I don't want you though. And they're like, but I'm here. I'm showing myself. I'm trying to be with you. And they're like, but I don't want you though. I just, you know, if you want to be with me, you can be with me, and we'll do hookups and stuff. But I don't want to be in a relationship with you, and I don't love you like that. Maybe they've been heard certain truths that hurt them. They've allowed themselves to be tied into a relationship with someone who they keep hoping they're going to tame that person. Maybe it's a bad boy or a bad girl, and they keep thinking they're going to tame that person and make that person treat them right. But they just keep picking the wrong ones, who are definitely not going to be treating them right anytime soon. Okay, so they're in a lot of pain when it comes to relationships, friendships. They're being abused right now. They're being taken for granted, and they're being treated like crap. Okay, this is their negative karma. So it could be maybe they're getting a dose of what they gave you from other people. Yeah, this person is in a lot of pain. We got tears, we got heartbreak. Their heart's being broken right now by someone that they care about. Okay, or it could be the karma that they were dealing with here, pal, too, is that in this relationship with you, maybe they haven't found someone else. Maybe this isn't true for all of you. Maybe in the relationship with you, pal, too, they're feeling heartbroken. They're feeling heartbroken because you are detaching yourself from them. You know, I see with the hot air balloon, it's like you're taking off. You're leaving them behind. You don't want anything to do with that mess. And maybe they still want you back in their lives. They're tearing up. They're processing. They're in mourning. You know, now another one bites the dust. You know, we got the others from their past. Now it's you. So they're hurting, pal, too. They're hurting, okay, over this mess in their lives. We have the Ace of Wands over the Hanged Man. I feel like they started something new that they're having to sacrifice themselves through. Maybe a new relationship, and they're being made into a scapegoat or the martyr in the relationship. I'm seeing here again with the antelope, see how they're butting heads. Okay? This is their karma. Is they bring conflict wherever they go. Pile 2. They bring conflict wherever they go. We got the baobab tree, you know, so this is telling me that in situations where there's longevity, the only way they know how to do a long-term relationship is to fight their way through it, is to butt head their way through it. Okay, and this is what their negative karma is. This is what their karma is. We got lost on this journey. They're feeling lost. Stop obsessing. Wow. Okay. And lift off. Okay. So, pile 2, I feel like, you know, someone has stopped obsessing over them. Perhaps it's you, pile 2. I feel like you've detached from this person for sure, especially with the Ace of Swords coming up and the Four of Pentacles. You've detached. You're keeping yourself to yourself. You're keeping your valuables to yourself. They wanted this addictive, you know, negative, karmic relationship with you, but you're not letting them have that. You're saying, no, I'm detached. and they're crying over this. And now we're seeing that, they started something new, but they don't know where to go quite. Okay, because you've detached from them. You're no longer caught up in this karmic cycle. You're taking off. You're leaving them behind. Okay, you're progressing forward in your life. You're no longer waiting around for them to get it or figure it out or grow up or gain self-awareness. And you've left them in the dark, pile 2. They are lost at this point in their lives. They don't know what to do other than butt heads. They don't know what else to do. They don't know how else to do relationships. Okay, they started something new and they're back to doing the butting heads with somebody else. So it wasn't you, pile 2. You do have a point. You are right. This person didn't know how to do peace or calm. Okay, they're watching you let go and move on. Blast off. You're about your own pictures now. You don't care about them and taking pictures with them and all this. And they're feeling lost without you, pile 2. Even though they didn't treat you that great, they are still feeling lost. I feel like, pile 2, the negative karma is that they were addicted to you. You got obsessing. And now that you've lift off, they are lost. Okay. Let's take a look at your last column. We have the 9 of baskets, which is the 9 of cups, on top of the father of baskets, which is the king of cups. The 9 of cups on top of the king of cups. Someone's got everything they asked for and more. Look at all the shopping bags, the fancy cars. They've gone off and bought exactly what they wanted at the store, at Neiman Marcus or wherever, and they're coming home with bags full of stuff. Okay? And so this is how your hater, your enemy is suffering right now. Is they're getting to see this in you, maybe? They're seeing that you have money, that you're out there, you're being taken care of. Or you may have a rich boyfriend, a rich sugar daddy, or a rich girlfriend or something. You're living a good life, pile 2. Okay? Let's see what else coming up. DUI, jail, legal matters, out of control, substance abuse. And I mentioned that with the devil card before. We got health choices. This is, I'm going to put it all together at the end. This is how, pile 2, this is how they are. This is their negative karma. Next, we got cock blocking. So, pile 2, I feel like part of how they're hurting right now is perhaps you moved on, you found someone else, you found some other situation, you found a new job, or you found something, and you're being excellently taken care of right now. You're being taken care of really nicely. You have a plethora of choices. You have fine, fancy items that are a high end. You got health choices. Everything is fruit, vegetables. And we all know this is more expensive than like processed food. So you're getting all the good stuff. And they're seeing this. Okay, pile 2. They're seeing how well you're being taken care of. And it's driving them to drink. It's driving them to abuse substances. It's driving them to do bad habits so that they can feel like they can just put it behind them or something. And the truth of the matter is that the karma that they're having to endure is that if there's someone in your life, they may have thought they wanted to sleep with you again, or they wanted to come back to you again or something, and it's not happening, pile 2. They're realizing they're being blocked out because you're being well taken care of. You're eating healthy. That was not what they brought to the table. What they brought to the table was some cheap alcohol. And they know that is not at all a good comparison. Especially when it comes to your standards, pile 2. Okay? Their karma, pile 2, is to watch you thrive. Is to watch you have excess. Is to watch you have largesse. Is to watch you get the best stuff in the world. Organic, yummy, beautiful vegetables and fruits, and all the nice things because you went shopping, and a nice car, while they're sitting there trying to get their abuse symptoms under control, or addiction problems under control. You're busy living that good life, letting someone pamper you. Okay? And they would love to cock block you, but I'm getting the feeling that they can't. They have to head back to jail, or, you know, go back to whatever lives they were living. They need that job, or, yeah. Wow. And that's all I'm seeing the cards for you, pile 2. If you've enjoyed this reading, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. And let me know what you thought in the comment section. I'd love to engage with you there. Take good care of you, okay? And I'll catch up with you at the next one. Bye! Welcome to your reading, pile 3. So, what is your enemy's karma? Let's move your number over to the right. You chose this hand holding the heart grenade. Oh, pretty dramatic. Let's move that over to the right over there. Or you may or may not have chosen this Cancer, Zodiac, Taurus, or Virgo. So, pile 3. First, we're going to look into how they hurt you so we can create some resonance. Be sure that this is your pile before we proceed into the part of the reading where we look into what their karma is. All right, so let's go ahead and create that resonance so we're sure you're at the right pile. So first we're going to look into how they hurt you, and that's how we're going to create this resonance. We're going to look into how they hurt you. So pile 3, I feel like this person, this enemy of yours, the way they hurt you was they hit you where it hurt. They hit you where it hurt. I feel like this person knew you. Maybe they knew what you loved, or, you know, they attacked something you loved. It may have been intentional, and they were trying to cause you pain, whoever this was, and you already know this, pile 3. This is not news to you. I feel like this person, they may have come at you. This person was evil. Pile 3, they're evil, or they cultivate these energies within themselves, and they're like your shadow. This person, it's like they're shadowy person, and they work in such a way to test you and show you the other side. I feel like this may have been the universe's way of testing you to see how do you respond when you're faced with evil. To be honest, I'm so sorry, pile 3, that you went through this. I feel like this person, they knew something was hurting you, and they continue to apply pressure and continue to hurt you where it hurt. They can continue to hit you where it hurt. They continue to apply pressure where they knew you were hurting. So this person may have been a sadist. They were cruel to you. They may have intentionally targeted you. Maybe they had a vendetta out against you, or they were just a cruel person. They may have been a bully. They may have just been bullying you. They may have been acting from a inner wounded child, or they're just, I don't know. This person is not a good person, pile 3. Okay, just horrible. I feel like this person thrived on putting you in a state of darkness and wanting you to feel uncertain and confused about something. They didn't want you to know the truth about a certain situation. They kept certain things obscured from you, and they wanted certain things to be a mystery to you. They didn't want you to understand the full scope of the situation. So their thing was to maybe sort of like blind you with trauma, or distract you with pain, with painful things, so that maybe you wouldn't notice something else that they were doing with their other hand. This person was diabolical, pile 3. I'm so sorry you went through this. Let's take a look at your tarot cards. We got the 8 of Pentacles. So this could have been work related. This could be someone at your job, someone you work with. Could have been a boss. It says like a boss. I feel like maybe you started a company. For this, just for a few of you may started a company, working very dedicated, focused, and someone knew this and it decided to hit you where it would hurt by attacking your company or attacking your business. This person may have not liked how hard working you were, the attention to detail that you show, and the goals that you're achieving, and they wanted to sort of mess this up in some type of way. It's possible maybe this is someone you hired, and maybe when you most needed them, they didn't show up. I mean, it's something like this is what I'm getting. We have the Knight of Pentacles, definitely work related, and if it's not work related, and maybe if it's a relationship or something like this, then this is someone who they didn't want to do the work that was required in this relationship that you were dealing with. They may have been lazy, or maybe they were very stubborn or conservative in their point of view. They just didn't want to change the way they were doing things, or they wanted to maybe choose a very conservative outlook and stick with that, regardless of maybe you're progressive, because I see that with the Eight of Pentacles. You're working very handily and sure-footedly towards creating something, and I feel like this person was like in your way, and they wanted to sort of like slow down your progress and slow down the direction that you were headed, and they'd rather go read a book than join in and help out, you know, with this thing that you're trying to accomplish, this thing you're trying to grow. I'm so sorry, pile 3. So it could be that the way that this person got in the way of what you loved was by being a stick in the mud, was by choosing to go with old-fashioned ideas, or moving very slowly. I'm getting like maybe bureaucratic stuff, like maybe there was something, maybe some paperwork that you filed, something you were trying to get done. You wanted to get a license or get a permit or something, and this person was like, no, I'm gonna take my sweet time, and I'm not gonna go very quickly here, I don't have to. And this is how they were trying to sort of stymie your goals and get in the way of what it is you were trying to accomplish. I'm getting like bureaucratic energies, I'm getting stubborn energies. Okay, let's take a look at your next tarot card. We have the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, we're getting a lot of money, business type of energy coming in. I think for quite a few of you. Okay, I'm getting like maybe an inheritance. Maybe this person got in the way of your inheritance and stalled on your inheritance and put you through a bunch of like paperwork and said you have to do this first, you have to do that first, you have to do this first before getting your inheritance, or before getting aid, or getting what was coming to you, what you rightfully had coming to you. They wanted to get in the way of this. I feel like you were trying to like either marry into a family or something like this, and you married into a family, and you're dealing with people in the family that were like, I'm not going to change the way we do anything for you. Even if it was the right thing to do, pile 3, this person, your enemy, was like, we're not going to change how we do it. We're going to do this a slow way. I don't care what you're trying to accomplish. It's not our problem, and we're not going to hurry just to help you succeed. We're not going to or it could be that they didn't want to include you in this part of this legacy. They stood in your way. Maybe you were going to get this new job, and you're going to get hired into this new company, but they took their sweet time hiring you. They made you jump through all these hoops. Pile 3, I'm so sorry. And I feel like you may have really wanted this job. You may have really wanted to be part of this community or this family or something. Yeah, we're getting 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, so this is definitely, oh my gosh, Pentacles, 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 Pentacles. So pile 3, I feel like this person, they got in the way of your work. They got in the way of your work ethic. They didn't like the way you worked. They wanted to mess with you. They didn't want to cooperate with you. They didn't want to do teamwork with you. They wanted to get in the way of what you were doing. They wanted to throw a wrench in the works. They wanted you to feel opposed in what you were doing. They wanted you to feel frustrated and feel like, you know, you could work as hard, as fast as you like, but all us around here, we're not going to be working that hard, and we're not going to be moving that fast to cooperate with you or support the progress that you're trying to achieve. In fact, we're going to get in the way of it. And they may have found people that think like them to do teamwork to get in your way, to keep you from having access to the support you need, or being included. They may have worked to keep you out of this inclusion. Maybe they wanted to exclude you from this legacy or heritage that you want to be a part of. So this could be a company, this could be it could be a country, you know, it could be a family, just an organization or a church or a group of some kind. And it's like they teamed up with others, and they were happy to do it too, to keep you out of something, okay? Because they understood that supporting you and allowing you to come in would mean progress would be made, and you would receive money, and people who work hard will get money. And they wanted to get in the way of this. There's some sort of agenda out against you, pile 3. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, pile 3, for this frustration. We're getting the Queen of Cups. Okay, so this could be a situation where you're marrying into a family, and they kind of ganged up against you. They didn't like you, so they made it uncomfortable for you. It's possible. I'm also getting pile 3, like this person may have, the way they hurt you was maybe they wanted you to feel dependent on them. They wanted you to feel insecure, like you weren't supported and you weren't going to be getting what you needed, and that you just needed to just be out there and just be in limbo and all this. Okay, next we're getting strength. We got strength. Wow, you really had to be strong, pile 3. You really had to be strong. You dealt with, these are some haters, man. I feel like these people, this enemy or hater of yours just didn't mean you any good. They didn't mean you any good whatsoever. They just wanted to get in your way. They wanted you to feel fear. They wanted you to feel paralyzed. They wanted to give you a challenge, okay? That you have to be super strong to confront. And I feel like this person, they're poisonous, they're toxic, but you've been strong, hanging in there, dealing with them. You've been very brave, pile 3. You've been very brave. You've shown a lot of courage and a lot of conviction, knowing that you're in the right, knowing that what they are doing is wrong, and you've just been sitting there, standing there, whatever, taking it. And you've shown a lot of self-awareness and been like, dear God, dear universe, I know you know what's happening right now, and I'm just going to try to bear this with as much grace as possible, because I know I'm in the right, and that's all there is to it at this time. Okay, so kudos to you, pile 3. But I feel like they really put you through it. I'm so sorry about this. Let's see what their karma is going to be, right? Let's just see what their karma is going to be. We got the 7 of Pentacles on top of the 8 of Pentacles. So someone's going to be waiting around for a long time, and it's going to be them. I feel like the energy they tried to give you, where you're having to wait around and drag things out and all this, it's going to be returned to them. Okay, I'm seeing a return to sender type of energy, where it's like the energy where they're trying to stall you is going to end up stalling them. All right, they're trying so hard to stall you that they're stalling themselves. They're going to be stalling themselves in the future as well. Okay, the slowness that they're trying to give you, the inertia that they want you to experience, they're going to be getting a taste of it themselves. Okay, we have stubborn. What I say, stubborn. This person was stubborn. They want to change their ways. We got broken ring. So someone refusing to listen, especially when the truth is tough. It's a nudge to open up and really hear what's being said, even if it bugs you. True growth starts with listening, even when you'd rather not. And then we got broken ring, parting of the ways in either romance or business. Okay, feeling unwelcome or rejected. Pile 3. This person is a very stubborn person, and it's not just with you. This is how they are everywhere. And so what's going to end up happening, pile 3, is there's going to be some sort of breakup. Okay, their karma is going to be that they're going to carry this negative energy, this stubborn silence somewhere else, and other people are going to reject them. Other people are going to break up with them. They may have contracts with other companies, and these companies are going to be like, we don't want to deal with you anymore. Okay, that's what they're going to be telling your enemy, pile 3. We're done here. And they're going to break contracts. They're going to leave this enemy of yours abandoned, and they're going to not welcome this enemy of yours wherever they normally go, to their neck of the woods. They're going to reject your enemy because of your enemy's stinky attitude. Okay, people do not like this person, pile 3. Okay, they are not liked at all, pile 3. And it's like they just want to be a stick in the mud. I don't know where they're getting this from. I feel like they have a certain agenda, they have a certain outlook, a certain perspective, and they don't want anyone changing their minds away from this perspective, and they'll do anything to ensure that things remain the way they want it to be. Okay, which is stalled, stick in the mud energy, old-fashioned, conservative. I don't know what it is, but they just do not want to hear what others are saying, which is the right thing. And so this is going to cause them to be alienated from other groups as well. Not just from you, but from other groups. Okay? Wow. Also, I feel like pile 3, There are people who are going to see this person in the future, and they're going to hear this person talking, and they're going to be so tired of this person's shit. They're just not going to want to hear any of it anymore. I just feel like this person is going to lose a lot of contracts, a lot of relationships, a lot of friendships. They're going to be rejected in a lot of different groups, rejected by other people, rejected by other potential mates or partners, because of this crazy energy where they want to create difficulties for others, and they want others to feel like whatever they're doing is not going to get much reward. They want to not reward others very much for their efforts. This person's horrible, especially when it comes to the realm of like inertia and keeping things stuck. Okay, let's take a look at your next column of information. We have the Queen of Swords on top of the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, so part of the karma that your enemy is undergoing is that you'd had enough. I feel like this is your energy. This is other people's energy. You cut this person out. You're like, I'm telling you my truth. And my truth is I don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm done with this stick in the mud energy. I'm done with this crap. And I'm going to speak the truth as I see it, that you're just being a roadblock. You're just wanting to act like you don't care, and you want to block and stymie progress. And so they're going to hear the truth about this. This is their karma. You know, they're going to hear the truth about this. Okay, we got Fortune. Ooh, that's a good card to get. I feel like someone's going to be doing away with this energy, and it's going to bring them so much good fortune. Their karma, your enemy's karma, Pile 3, is to watch someone say, I don't want you. I'm going to speak the truth against you, and watch that person thrive. That could be you, Pile 3. Watch that person become very lucky, become very prosperous, become rich. Okay, so their karma is to watch you or the people that they have tried to stymie succeed anyway. I'm getting money mistakes, and so this is going to be a big contrast to what they're going to be experiencing, which is that their investments are going to be failing. They've made some miscalculations, Pile 3. Your enemy has made some serious miscalculations on how to spend money, how to handle the budget, or their investments have gone awry. They've made bad decisions that have caused, it is going to cause them poverty. Okay, that is your enemy's karma. Is that I feel like this person is maybe expecting to be rich or something, and they're so not going to be rich. Okay, they're going to be poor. They're going to be broke. And, the thing they wanted is not going to happen because someone's going to call them out. Someone's going to expose the truth about your enemy. And a lot of money is going to end up being wasted. And they're going to have a lot of debt as a result. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's get more information. We got living rent free. So, Pile 3, I feel like this person... Exactly. Okay. So, this person, Pile 3, I don't care how rich this person comes across to you. I don't care how rich they come across to you. The fortune that they have is going to dwindle away. It's going to dwindle away. And at the end of the day, what's going to end up happening is that this person, they're going to be looking for a place to live where they don't have to pay rent. Okay? They're definitely going to think a lot about what you said. And they're going to be reminded when they're struggling financially about the things you said, Pile 3, about the things that someone told them who is about the truth, who sees things exactly the way they are, who warned them and told them, you need to stop this. You need to stop being this way. You're burning money. You're a problem. You're a roadblock to progress. You're actually going to cause a poverty. You're going to cause things to be worse financially. And so their karma is going to see exactly this play out for themselves, to be honest. Okay, for themselves, maybe for other people too. I feel like their crappy decisions are going to affect other people's lives, but I'm also getting that it's going to affect their life, Pile 3. They're going to have to watch this. They're going to have to think and remember the things you said. Okay, the things that people who think like you said, which is, and they will not be able to get out of their minds that you were right, Pile 3. This is their negative. This is their negative karma. This is the karma that they're going to be experiencing. Let's take a look at the next set. We have the King of Pentacles. Okay, I feel like this person tries to be rich. They try to act like they're rich, or maybe they are rich. They may be rich. This person may have money, but they're not making the right decisions. This is on top of 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so this is the karma they're experiencing is going to affect their wealth. It's going to affect their wealth. Let's see. You failed big time. Oh my gosh. Okay, you failed big time. And right, I'm gonna put that over there. You failed big time. We're getting anonymous threat. Whoa. This person's going to be threatened because of what they did. I feel like this person may have like scammed people, or maybe the decisions they made is going to cause people a lot of losses. And they're going to receive death threats. They're going to receive threats from other people. Like, I thought that you would make me money. I thought that you were savvy with money. But it turns out you wasted my money. You burned the money. You burned through our resources. I feel like he's going to tank this person, your enemy. They're going to tank the finances that is affiliated with an entire legacy, heritage. They're going to make bad money decisions, this person. Okay, this is a negative karma. We got hidden room. Okay, so pile 3, I feel like this person, it's like they have aspirations to become very wealthy or become a mogul or something, or they want to be viewed or seen as someone who makes sound business decisions and is doing incredibly well and is like a CEO, or, you know, maybe even like a billionaire or something like this. But their karma is going to be that they're going to fail at this. Okay, they are going to fail at being this big time businessman or big time wealthy person or big time CEO. They're going to flub in some type of very public way, and it's going to hurt other people's finances, and other people are going to be like, oh my gosh, you messed me up, and they're going to be mad, and they're going to be looking for this person, your enemy, threatening this person on the phone. And I feel like your enemy says your hidden room, you locked it away for a reason, but now it's time to remember. They're going to stay hidden away. They're going to be hiding out. They're not going to want to be seen. They're going to want to hide because of all the threats. He says you're blackmail, harass. So I feel like this person, they're going to want to, look, hiding your face, hidden room. So they're going to want to like tuck tail, run and hide. That's what I'm seeing, pile 3, because they're going to flub in such a way, it's going to make people mad at them. That, you know, I feel like maybe investors, stockholders, people that are dealing with this person. I feel like this person might be wealthy or well off, or aspires to be wealthy or well off, or maybe it could be family members. They're going to be trying to contact this enemy of yours. They're going to be like, you know, hey, you know, Tom or whoever, or Anna or whatever, where's all our money at? What'd you do with the money? You promised that it was going to grow 100-fold. Where is it now? And they're just going to mess up. They're going to mess up. I feel like I see a basketball player trying to shoot the hoop, and everyone's watching, and, you know, they're just 1 point away from winning, and then he misses. You know, like he's going to shoot and he's going to miss. And it's going to be super embarrassing. And I feel like that's what's going to be happening to your enemy. Their reputation is going to take a hit, and people are going to have it out for your enemy. Okay, pile 3. All right, this is their karma. Let's move into the next piece. Okay, so let's take a look at the next tarot card you have going here. We got the Emperor on top of the 3 of Pentacles. What is their karma? So we have father figure, businessman, responsible, authority, structure, wise, stable, ambition, dependable. Again, more of these like moneymaker or I'm the man type of vibes coming through. And their karma is going to impact this. This is a big part of the identity. They like to be viewed as like as a breadwinner, or like a very successful person, a very financially a successful person, or someone who's in charge, someone who's the boss, you know, a boss figure, someone who's the, you know, the main one. Your enemy wants to be viewed like this. Okay, let's get what their karma is going to be. Laughing through the pain. Okay, humor is a shield, this guy. So something's going to be going wrong with this, but they're going to be pretending everything's fine in the future. Okay, let's get more information. Sacred roar. You've held it in long enough. Exactly, they're hiding something. The healing begins when you give it a voice. Speak and you'll feel the shift. Okay, so they're gonna be like angry about something, maybe. Okay, let's get more information. Ghosted, off and on, hot and cold, detached. Okay, so pile 3, I feel like as powerful as this enemy of yours wants to be or is or looks like, they can't control everything and they can't control everyone. Okay, there is someone they would like to hear back from. It could be you, Pile 3, and that person is not talking to them, not speaking to them, not answering to them, and it bothers them big time. Okay, this is what's going to be, this is their karma, is there's someone they would like to hear from who is shunning them. It could be a woman. Okay, and this is someone who is detached towards them, and in their mind, to Pile 3, your enemy is like, but I'm the big shot, I'm the big guy, everybody wants to talk to me, everybody wants to be affiliated with me. You'd be stupid. Everybody wants to be affiliated with me. You'd be stupid to not want to be close to me. You know, I'm the guy with the connections. I'm the person with blah, 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 blah. And it is killing them inside, Pile 3. Okay, this is their karma. Their negative karma is going to be that people that they expect to basically want to kiss their ass or be desperate to know them or desperate to talk to them are not going to want to talk to them, are not going to be fiending for them, are not going to be simping for them. They're not going to be looking for them. They're going to be like, hey, what's going on? Where is everybody? Right? Where is everybody? You know, they'll be cracking jokes, acting like everything's good. I'm the funny guy. I'm the funny girl. I'm cracking jokes. I'm good, y'all. But in reality, Pile 3, they're going to be hurting inside. Their pride, their ego is going to take a major hit from the fact that you're not talking to them, you're detached towards them, you're not interested in them. Maybe they thought you're going to show up somewhere and you're not showing up. This is going to be a major hit to their ego. Okay, let's keep it moving here. Okay, so let's take a look at what else is coming through for you here as far as your enemy's karma. We have the Page of Swords. Clever, gossip, spying, vigilance, witty, curious. So it looks like someone's going to be watching. Perhaps they'll be watching you. Your enemy's karma is to be spying on you, or like maybe they'll be sort of creeping or stalking your social media or something. Maybe, I don't know. Let's get more information. We have, oh my goodness, it says you're blocked. Blocked, scam, hoax, banned. Yeah. So part of your enemy's karma is in the future is they're going to be identified as a scammer. They're going to be identified as a criminal or someone who, like, you know, you may block this person, or others may block this person. They may be banned from certain realms. And so because of this, they're being banned by you or others. They're going to be stuck with a spying position because they can't come in as themselves, right? They cannot come in as themselves and start, you know, and log in and just go into your account or go to these other places as themselves because they've been blocked or banned. So this is something that's part of their fate because of how they behave. Okay, this is part of your enemy's karma. Is they've been relegated to the sidelines. They've been exiled. Okay, so they're going to be exiled in the future, and they're going to be stuck lurking and trying to see what's going on by spying. Okay, or they might send a spy or something like that. We got fighting feelings. Okay, so they're not going to be, they're not over someone or somebody. It could be you. Okay, they may be hurt about being exiled, banned, or being viewed as a hoax or blocked as a hoax. They're going to be having issues with this internally. Okay, we have heart fog, mixed emotions, unclear feelings, wishy-washy. So more feelings and feelings. So part 3, they're gonna feel some kind of way about being banned. Okay, it's gonna have them all caught up in their feelings. They're gonna be restless. They're gonna feel like sad about it one moment, and then the next they're gonna pep talk themselves out of it and be like, whatever, it's their loss. And then the next moment they're gonna remember that they're exiled and they can't see you and they can't see others, or they can't be part of something, and then they'll start to feel bad and moody about it again, and then they're gonna pep talk themselves out of it. Or if it, well, I'm great, because they're like a narcissist or something, so, or they have narcissist traits. So Pile 3, I feel like their karma is to be hurting, honestly. And to have tumultuous feelings over the fact that they've been banned or exiled. And this is something that they're going to have to be dealing with, okay? They're going to have to be dealing with this. Next, we're getting the Queen of Pentacles. Man, we got a lot of money cards coming in for this enemy of yours, the way they treated you. This is money matters. This is about business. This is about, caring for the practical realities of life. Okay. This is ground floor stuff. So this may be someone you lived with, or someone you lived with, maybe someone who signed your paychecks, or someone who you was an investment partner. This is about like the nitty gritty of life. Okay. Like material things, resources. That's the realm that this person is in. And this is how they're going to be impacted. This is how they're going to be suffering. Okay, we got the Queen of Pentacles. So something about, the Queen of Pentacles is a wonderful energy. Someone who takes care of you, nurtures you, down to earth. This is like that's definitely a bougie card. Okay, this could be you, for instance, or it could be that this is someone who has a reputation in society that people look up to, and they're like, wow, there goes that person, or like there goes Pile 3 looking, that's someone we want around, that's someone we want to include in our events, and who's going to bring some gravitas and bring some some poshness to things. This is someone not to be ignored. This is someone that you want to include, right? And this is someone who looks out for others, who cares for others, make sure that they're comfortable and stuff like this. And I feel like this is part of how your enemy's karma is going to be impacting this type of energy in some type of way. We got mental health issues. Yeah, they're going to be missing out on this person. This could be you, Pile 3. I feel like you're a very caring, loving person, and you're an excellent hostess. You go out of your way to make people feel comfortable, including you. Maybe you used to make your enemy feel very comfortable. And I'm seeing, or it could be that maybe if that's not true, then they've noticed this in you, and it's going to stress them out, Pile 3. It says you're unstable, feeling empty, mental distress, nervous breakdown. They're going to be having either a nervous breakdown over the fact that they don't have you anymore, or have your caring, loving, nurturing energies in their life anymore, or they're going to be having a nervous breakdown over the fact that you are like this. Okay, maybe they're going to feel like, man, I'm missing out on someone like Pile 3. I'd like to have someone like Pile 3 around. They're really out to my clout. They're someone, or maybe I miss Pile 3 or something like this. We got celebration. Interesting. Gratitude, festivity, connection, victory, rejoicing. Exactly. They're going to miss this like happy, loving, successful, nurturing, upbeat vibe that you brought to things. Okay, I feel like your enemy feels like when you're around, or when you're a part of things, or when you're in their life, whatever the case may be, they feel like you just brought a really good vibe to things. Like the party was happening wherever you were at, Pile 3. Happiness and success and joyfulness was happening wherever you were at, Pile 3. And I think that with your absence, or with your exiting from their life, or them being blocked out, they're going to be missing out on this. They're going to be like, man, the party is where Pile 3 is at. And so they're going to be hurting over this. We got happiness hater. I'm also getting, Pile 3, that this person, they're going to see that you have a good life, and that you've taken these traits, the love, the nurturing, bougie, happy, upbeat, practically useful, very, very successful with handling resources and stuff like that. You're going to take these traits, and you're going to go give them to somebody else. You're going to go give them to some other place or some other company. And this is going to really bother them. They're going to be bothered by this. They're going to be bothered by the fact that you are a class act, that you are of value, and you're going to be taking this somewhere else, or they're going to feel like they're losing out on someone like this in their lives. So this could be like a divorce situation where their wife or someone leaves them and goes to go be with someone else, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's going to trouble them so badly, Pile 3, so badly. And this is part of how they're going to be suffering. It's going to be their karma, Pile 3, for how they're suffering in the future. Okay, and that's what I'm seeing in the cards. If you've enjoyed this reading, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here. It was a privileged reading for you. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I would love to know. I'd love to chat. Take good care of yourself, and I'll catch up with you at the next one. Bye. On to your reading, Pile 4. So what is your enemy's karma? Let's go ahead and move your number to the side right here. You chose the head sticker. It's got several heads on the inside, a head, inside of another head, inside of another head, inside of another head. So an eternal head or something. Okay. You may or may not have chosen this Scorpio, Pisces, or Libra. Okay. All right, let's just go ahead and take a dip and dabble into these energies here, shall we? So before we go into exactly what is your enemy's karma, we're going to look into how they hurt you. Okay. And this is going to help us create some resonance and confirmation that you have indeed chosen the right pile. And then after you've gotten those confirmations and feel like this is your pile, then we'll go into that. And then you can, rest easy. And that way you can really trust the messages that are coming through on the enemy's karma. Okay. Now, I feel like this person, the way they hurt you, pile 4, is that they may have played head games with you or try to get inside your head, maybe even try to gaslight you. They saw your goodness, they saw your light, they saw it, okay? They noticed it, but they didn't want to respect it, or maybe, they wanted to act like it wasn't there, okay? That's kind of what I'm getting. They see the person who hurt you, they wanted to treat you like you were basic, or maybe they treated you like you were basic, or treated you like there was something wrong with you, like you were definitely in the wrong, or you were definitely a bad person, when it was clear based on all the vibes that you put out and all your energy and everything you did that you were a good person. There was no evidence to support that you were a bad person, yet they wanted to treat you like you were a bad person, okay? I feel like this person, the way they hurt you is they knew things about you. They knew things about you, but they acted contrary to this, or they tried to also, I'm getting that they tried to discredit you. Okay. They tried to discredit you, pile 4. They saw that you had wisdom. They saw that you were a good communicator. They saw that you were harmonious. They saw that you were you're very understanding, that you spoke the truth, but they wanted to discredit you anyway. Okay, that's coming through. Just take it as it resonates and leave the rest for the others. I feel like this person, they wanted to cast doubt upon your character. They wanted people to doubt you and view you as like a scam or sham, or someone who's doing the wrong thing, or a bad person, or a shady person. Wow. They may have tried to mess with your reputation too. Get other people to see you differently than what you actually were. They wanted to malign your character. They wanted to sully and tarnish your reputation. That's kind of what I'm getting. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot card. We have the 8 of Wands. So they may have spread gossip about you. They may have said something about you. They may have ended something that was good for your reputation, that was good for you and making you look good. They may have quickly put an end to it because they didn't like the way it was making you shine. They didn't like the way it was confirming who you were, the way it was like validating you. Okay, so they may have done that too. Or they may have said some things about you impulsively. Okay, 9 of Wands. I feel like this person, they may have, the way they hurt you is that they quickly ended things with you and moved on. So this could be in a date, someone who was dating you, someone who was dealing with you. They saw that you were good. They saw you had all the good things going. They saw maybe even that you were pretty, or that you just had all the right traits, pile 4. But they quickly shut you down and moved on like you weren't no big deal, or they shut you down, or they shut things down and quickly moved on away from you, like, on to the next, like that's nothing special, let's move on to the next, when you are literally like a dime, one in a million, pile 4. Okay, they try to act like it was no big deal when you're actually like 1 in a million, or like something you were doing or ideas that you had were profound, and they wanted to act like that wasn't no big deal. Okay, possible they just kind of cast you aside. This could be a romantic situation, or like a lover or something like this. That's possible. And I feel like this person, they were fickle. They were romantic towards you, but it was like they were here today, gone tomorrow, off and on, that kind of thing, hot and cold. It's possible. Okay, we have the Ace of Swords. I feel like this person tried to cut you out. They try to like eliminate you from their lives, or just sort of. They were just brutal with you, pile 4. They were brutal with you. They were very uncaring towards your good energies. They were acting like they were like, I could care less, you know. So they would come at you romantically and try to seduce you, but then they would be cold and cut you off the next. Okay, we got the Six of Wands. Okay, yeah, I feel like you have a great reputation, Pile 4. People spoke well of you. People think you're great, but this person, I feel like maybe they just didn't want. They may have been jealous. They may have been jealous, especially with the Nine of Wands popping up, and they just didn't want. They didn't want you be treated like you were a big deal, or like you weren't anything special. They didn't want you to be treated like anything special. They liked you too at one point, but they like, what am I doing? I don't want to give Power 4 cred. I don't want to, validate them. I need to move on from this and let them put them in their place, But that wasn't your place, Power 4. Your place wasn't to be cut off or ended. Your place was to be high up on a horse, celebrated by others and welcomed into town. That's who you were. That's what you brought to the table, Power 4. Next, we're getting death. Yeah, they ended something. That made you look good. They ended something where you were the champion. Picture, maybe taking part in a contest, and then that everyone makes a big deal out of. And when you won, as soon as you won, they're like, "Oh, Power 4 won. All right, bye. We gotta go, guys. Bye. Gotta go." They didn't want to give you the ceremony. They didn't want to give you the same props. They didn't want to give you a little speech or take their time. And let us just sit and bask in Power 4's glory for a little bit here. They wanted to just quickly end it, your shine. They didn't want you shining. They didn't want you standing out. And if you were dating this person, they may have noticed that, oh my gosh, Power 4 is amazing. Power 4 is amazing. Maybe they took you around their family and their family was talking about you for weeks. And in their mind, they're like, Jesus, stop talking about Power 4. I mean, I get that she's great, but get that he's great, but I don't want Power 4. I don't want to give Power 4 that cred. And maybe they didn't want you upstaging them. Maybe they didn't like the way their friends and family were talking about you. Like, my friends and family don't talk about me like this. I'm not going to let Power 4 show up so Power 4 can be adored every time they show up. And that's going to upstage me. It could have been like that too. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you, Power 4, is that this person just wanted to, shut things down quickly or leave you behind quickly, even though you were amazing. And they knew that, this person's foolish, Power 4. They're dumb. I'm just going to say it right. Just say it right now. And I feel like this person also knew that you were very special, but maybe they mistakenly thought, well, I can find someone like this elsewhere. But the truth is, Power 4, they can't. You're one in a million, maybe even a once in a lifetime type of experience with this person. They will never find anyone like you again. It's going to be rare, and chances that they will find someone like you again is just going to be crazy rare. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at their karma. We have the Seven of Wands on top of the Eight of Wands. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, they felt threatened by you, Power 4. They felt threatened by you. So here's how this is the karma that they're going to be dealing with, is that people are going to reject them, Power 4. People are going to reject them. People are going to say no to the decision of getting rid of you. People are going to resist this person. People are going to challenge this person, either for what they did to you, or they're going to have some type of situation in their lives where they're being challenged. Okay, their leadership and their superiority or their wins are not going to be easily accepted by others. Just like, it's almost like I'm getting like reversal of energies here, where it's like a return to sender type of thing, where they try to make you feel that way, and where you won, but they didn't want you to bask in your glory. They wanted to cut you down real quick and get rid of you and all this. They're going to experience the same thing. They're going to be like, your enemy is going to win or end up on top of they're going to get somewhere and be the best at something, and others are going to be like, no, we don't agree that you're the best. No, we are challenging it. No, we don't agree you deserve to be up there. No, exactly. So they're going to be getting a taste of their own medicine. We got divinely stomped out. You see, people are going to stomp them out. People are going to be like, get out. We don't want you up there. You don't have. People are going to see your enemy up there on a pedestal or something, and they're gonna be like, you don't deserve to be up there. You don't have that energy about you, like you're a good leader or like you deserve to be up there. They're gonna be like, there's a stink on you. That's what they're gonna be thinking about your enemy, Power 4. There's a stink on you. You either cheated your way up there. There's something about you. It's not quite right, and we're gonna resist your leadership. We're gonna resist your wins. We're gonna resist your position. They may be taking a position, and I feel like they're not going to be able to maintain their position. Okay, so they may get a promotion, and then they're going to easily lose that promotion. Okay, and I feel like, divinity is going to have something to do with this. Okay, the universe is going to have something to do with stamping this person out of this. They're going to be divinely stomped out. We're seeing cracked cup, dissatisfaction with life. Yeah, so pile 4, their wins, I feel like they're going to win something in the future, or get promoted, or they're going to achieve some status in life, but they're going to lose it very quickly. Okay, it's going to be broken, and they're going to be very depressed. You'll be very depressed, feeling unfulfilled or empty. Yeah, so pile 4, I feel like whatever it is they try to achieve, there's going to be something they try to achieve, it's not going to go well for them. See, if you don't want to support others when they're doing well, how do you expect to be supported when you're doing well? How are you going to expect that people are going to cheer you on and say, hey, we're proud of you, you're up there, we like you? If you're going to rain on someone else's parade like they did with you, pile 4, and try to sabotage other people's wins, other people's reputation, okay, you think you're going to do well? At some point that karma is going to catch up with them, pile 4, and that's exactly what's happening. Their karma is that they're going to be unfulfilled, they're going to be empty, their wins and their victories are going to be stomped out, and their life is going to be broken when it comes to their accomplishments and their achievements. When they want to speak up or say, no, I want to stand up for this thing, guys, they're going to tell a group, I want to stand up for this thing. It's very important. You need to listen to me. And people are going to be like, we don't want to listen to you. No, get down from there. We don't care what you have to say. And this is going to be God's way, or divinity's way, of stomping this person out of a position of leadership or authority or any kind of advantageous position. Okay. The universe is not going to let it happen. The universe is not going to let it happen. Pile 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look then at the next one. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so when it comes to being nurtured or having practical, stable energies around them, this is how their karma is going to be affected in this way. Let's get more information. Okay, maybe they're not going to have this calm, stable, nurturing, practically supportive energies around them. Okay, that's a possibility. We have inaction, exactly, not taking any steps or making any efforts towards a situation or problem. I feel like pile 4, this person, this enemy of yours, they're going to need help in the future, and they're not going to get that help. They are not going to get that help. People are going to be aware of their situation and not want to support them. Not taking any steps or making any efforts towards a solution, situation, or problem. Let's get more information. We got audit, right? So they may be audited or maybe assessed or evaluated. And I feel like, let's get more information. We got finesse, manipulator, or trickster. Okay. So pile 4, I feel like this person, their karma is going to be that they're going to be scammed or something. Okay. That when they are being evaluated or assessed, someone is going to, I'm kind of getting a vibe like if their true score on the test was 87, someone who doesn't like them is going to make sure they get a score of 80 or something. I feel like their karma is going to be cheated out of something. It could be money, it could be a score, it could be an assessment value. And I feel like there's going to be someone who's aware that this is happening, and they're not going to do anything about it. Okay, they're not going to help this person. They're going to let this person be scammed. They're going to let this person be tricked. So it might be something that they're not aware of. Their score is going to be a lot lower than it ought to be, even though they're going to work really hard and get a decent score on something, or work really hard in their investments and get a certain amount coming to them, but they're not going to get all of that money coming to them. And I feel like maybe someone's going to be aware of it, and because of the way they've treated others in the past, they're not going to be helped. Someone's going to be aware. Yeah, someone who handles the finance is going to be aware that they're shorted or shafted, and they're what they had coming, and they're not going to do anything about it. Okay, so they're not going to get compassion from others. People are going to be apathetic towards your enemy. They're going to get compassion from others when they're being cheated. No one's going to care. No one's going to try to rectify or bring justice their way. No one's going to care because of the way they have behaved in the past. Or it could be that this is just their karma. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next column. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands. This is on top of the Knight of Cups. All right. the Queen of Wands is like a very courageous, determined, passionate, attractive energy, very motivating. Okay, very interesting. So their karma is going to have something to do with this. We have got completely lost. Yeah, they're not going to have the support of someone. It could be you, Pile 4. I feel like you were looking out for their finances. You were looking out for them, or someone was. Okay, and I feel like this person is going to go inactive in their life. He's not going to be there to say, oh, you woke up this morning. Let me help you out. Listen, when you wake up and you're ready to go, you need to go over and head over to this place and that place. I've talked to Yusef, and they're going to meet you over there. They're going to hook you up. And then from there, y'all going to go here. All that is going to be gone. They're not going to have help. This person could be like a handler of theirs. Maybe that was you, Pile 4. You were helping sort of facilitate, make sure that everything goes right with them. And they're going to be completely lost without you. Or completely lost without this sort of management energy. This person's going to be helping manage their situation. And this person's going to no longer be in their lives. You got unfolding map. See? Lost, unfolding map. So, Pile 4, there's something about feeling lost. You don't need all the answers. Just trust that your soul knows the terrain. Someone who knows the terrain is no longer going to be in their lives. Someone who knows the map of how to go, where to go, how to do things is going to be vacant. They're going to be absent, not there. And this is going to throw them for a loop, Pile 4. Your enemy is going to be thrown for a loop. We got negotiation, exactly. When it comes to handling others, right? When it comes to handling different situations in life. When it comes to haggling, when it comes to being protected around others' intense energy, I feel like, Pile 4, the karma that your enemy is going to endure in the future is one of feeling unsupported and feeling lost and feeling like, they're going to have to handle all these rough energies on their own. Throw them out to the sharks, and the sharks are going to get them. Okay, that's kind of like the vibe I'm getting. They're not going to know which way to turn or how to handle certain situations, and they're not going to have your assistance, or they're not going to have someone's assistance. This is their karma, and this is going to fit the situation that you're dealing with. Okay, for some reason, this is a big deal to them. They're going to be lost, and they're confused. And they're going to be floundering. They're going to be flailing. Okay. They're not going to know which way to turn. And I feel like they're going to lose out in negotiation because of this. They're going to lose out when it comes to negotiating with others. Okay, Pile 4. So we have the strength card. Okay. They're going to have to be very strong, Pile 4. Your enemy is going to go through something very trying. Very either scary, intimidating, overwhelming, you name it. And they're going to have to be it's going to put their character to the test. It says being too much again, rejection, overexpression, and shame. Okay. So it looks like they might go through a hazing, or people are going to not treat them well. Or yeah, we kind of got that vibe earlier that they were going to want to stand up and say, hey, I'm a leader, I'm this, I'm that, and they're going to be rejected, or they're going to lose that position of leadership. I'm also getting here again that when it comes to society, social circumstances of some kind, this person, your enemy, I feel like they are going to encounter they're going to have some kind of experience that makes them feel very ashamed. Almost like they'll try to be like, hey, I'm the main one. I'm the main one. And people are going to be looking at them like, and who are you again? And why are you acting like we're supposed to be paying attention to you? And it's going to make them feel very, very awkward. Okay. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, I think I let my ego get too out of control on this one. Okay. We got fact check. A faulty belief system will still feel true if it's never been challenged. How much of your truth is based on secondhand stories and emotional static? So I feel like this person, they're going to embarrass themselves, Pile 4. Okay, this is their karma. They're going to embarrass themselves because they're going to be saying things about themselves like, I did this, I'm like this. They're going to be name dropping and bragging and talking about who they are and what they've done. They're going to finally get with people who fact check. Okay, maybe in the past they've gotten away with this. Okay, but they're finally going to in the future, or maybe that's what they're currently dealing with. Their karma is they're going to be dealing with people who are higher level people, who are more fact based and more scrupulous and critical. And they're gonna be like, what do you mean you said you did what? Well, we looked it up and you're not there. We don't see you. You said you were part of this league or whatever. Look, we're looking at all the years dating back to, we went to the website and pulled up their catalog of all the pictures of the different years that they took pictures on. You know, you said you were part of this league. Every single year, or, you know, we looked at the year you said you were part of the group, the 2 years before and 2 years after, and we don't see you in there. We don't see your name listed. Like, people are going to fact check, background check the crap out of your enemy, and they're going to be found caught in their lie. Okay, so you're turning your back. They're going to be found to be like, it's going to be shameful, Power 4. It's going to really put them through it. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, my old tactics are not working here. Okay? And I feel like people that they're looking to impress, people that they want to notice them, are going to turn their backs on them and be like, oh my gosh, this person's a poser. In the future, or your enemy's karma, Power 4, is that people are going to identify your enemy as a poser and someone who's trying too hard, a try hard. Someone who is like desperate for cred, desperate for clout, and they're gonna get snobbed as a result. Power 4. Wow. Okay, let's move into your next column. Okay, so we have the 6 of Wands. We have the Chariot on top of the 6 of Wands. Okay, so I feel like they're gonna have some type of ambition. Your enemy is gonna have some type of ambition or some sort of goal that they want to accomplish in life. The place that they're headed, it could be a destination, it could be a career goal, it could be a title, it could be wealth, status. Their karma is going to impact this in the future. We have up the creek without a paddle, stuck in a difficult situation with no way of getting out. You see, we got we got a chariot here, we got a boat here. You know, both are vehicles of some kind, right? And here they're stuck. So they're going to want to go someplace, Power 4. They're going to want to head in a certain direction in life, and they're not going to be able to do it. Okay, they're going to be stuck, held back by circumstances, life circumstances, difficult situations, and they're just going to be, stymied on their goals, where they're headed. Let's get more information. We got self-centered. Yeah, the reason they're going to be stymied, Power 4, is because people are going to identify that this person, your enemy, is all about themselves. They don't care about nobody else. It's all about their cred. It's all about their status. It's all about their wealth. It's all about where they're going. And so people are going to understand that your enemy is in it for themselves and themselves only. And they're going to be labeled as such. People are going to see right through them. We're getting knocked up. Okay. Pregnancy, baby on the way, expecting. So part of how they are also another way that they're going to be, there's a way. They're going to be held back in life, Power 4, because I'm seeing that there are some goals they want. There are some goals they want, but perhaps maybe it's career focused that they want. But they're going to end up getting pregnant, and this is going to kind of get in their way. Now, I love babies, okay? So I don't view a baby as a curse or anything like that, okay? But I do feel like they're going to be stymied by some sort of life circumstance. They may knock someone up or get someone pregnant, and now they're gonna have to snap out of this self-centered way of thinking and focus on the baby mama and the baby. Okay, it's going to keep them from moving and moving on and doing something else. Like, kind of like they like to move on and leave people behind. I feel like they're going to struggle with leaving someone behind or leaving something behind because something major is going to happen. I feel like they're going to get caught up with someone who's all about themselves. And this person is going to manipulate them into sticking with them. Okay. That's another message that I'm getting about your enemy's karma. They're going to get caught up with people. It's going to be like exactly the kind of person that your enemy deserves, okay? Is someone who's all about themselves, someone who's all about me. Oh, I'm pregnant. It's going to be about the baby now. Oh, you have an ambition? You got a career? Well, we're not going to be doing that. We got to focus on me. We got to focus on this baby. So it could be that, or it could be that someone else steps into their life who is, just as self-centered, if not more self-centered than your enemy, who's going to sort of like, who's going to limit and restrict their movements. They're not going to be able to go anywhere. They're not going to be able to do anything. They're not going to be able to make moves in their career like they want to. Yeah. So they're going to have to be dealing with this in the future. This is their enemy's karma. This is your enemy's karma. Okay, and for the final column, we are getting the Ten of Pentacles resting on top of the Death card. Okay. Yeah, I see that like there's some sort of legacy that they're wanting to be a part of, or some type of like rich tradition or heritage, a wealthy family, or a successful company, or a very famous organization that they want to be a part of. But I feel like their karma is going to have something to do with this. Okay, let's take a look. We have spying on you, drive-by, social media, tarot readings, spam calls, texts, talking to your friends and family, tarot readings, evil eye, wow, okay, protection, warding, curses, envy, mysticism, amulet, energy, and deflection. And for the final card, we got in their head, overthinking, stressed, and overanalyzing. So power 4, your enemy's karma is your enemy is going to observe how well you are doing. They're going to notice that you're doing really well. They're going to notice that maybe based on your social media, or when they drive by your house, or maybe they'll be talking to a tarot reader and they'll be telling them that, oh, they're doing very well, or, maybe by talking to your friends in your friend circle or other people in your network, they'll find out about you that you're doing very well. You're going to be in their head rent free, Power 4. This is their karma. It's going to be thinking a lot about how you are accepted. You are loved by others, and the thing that they want, they're not getting, but you got to have it. And they're going to remember the time when they tried to sabotage you, right? Send you an evil eye by, refusing to, say you were great, or refusing to give you that time where they were giving you acknowledgement or letting you have your golden hour. They wanted to cut it short, and they're going to remember how they sent you that negative energy, and it's going to be in their head. They're going to be overthinking it, they're going to be overthinking their behavior. They're going to be stressed out, overanalyzing themselves and the way they behaved, and they're going to be looking at you and looking at you and looking at you and looking at how you are doing so well and thriving. And they're not going to understand, Power 4, how their attempts to sabotage your glory, it didn't work. Okay, they're gonna understand how still you rose, still you're being celebrated and included, while they've worked so hard, and at every turn they've been stomped out. They were cheated out of it, even when they were legitimately deserving of it at a certain point. They were abandoned. They were not guided by others or given tips. They were mocked or viewed as trying too hard or being too desperate. They were held back. They're going to be stymied at every turn, or in so many different ways, and they're going to be looking at you and wondering how come, even though I got in Power 4's way, they have been included. They are being blessed with financial rewards and included, and are going to be on the will and are going to have an inheritance. And, but here I am. I'm like, I feel like this is what they're going to be saying about themselves. Here I am. I'm like the unwanted child, or like the one that is not doing as well. So the problem, in your enemy's head, Power 4, is that they think that in order to succeed, you have to fight dirty. And a lot of times you have to play it dirty, okay? And a lot of times that works for some people. But in their situation, God didn't want them to succeed. Divinity, the universe, did not want them to succeed in that way. The universe wanted to use this, they're wanting to use these tactics to find someone, to get ahead and be successful. The universe wanted to use it as a teaching opportunity, a learning opportunity for your enemy, Power 4. They were supposed to learn. They were not supposed to succeed using these methods. They were supposed to learn using these methods. And they were, they were slapped down, stomped out, slapped down, mocked, held back. They were snobbed, because they need to learn. Okay, you're like walking karma for this person, Power 4. You are an opportunity for them to learn. I feel like because they failed to be supportive of your success, the price they were going to pay was that they were not going to be successful. They were going to face obstacles and challengers and all kinds of issues at every turn, because they didn't want to accept that they need to learn how to be happy for others. Because when you're happy for others, this means that you're cultivating energies of gratitude within yourself. And when you cultivate energies of gratitude within yourself, this creates a magnetic force that draws success towards you. Okay, people will see that your energy is good, it's clean, and they're going to be more open with you. You're going to have a network. People are going to want to talk to you. People are going to feel like, I want to have someone around me, like someone like you around me, because when I'm successful, I want people who support me like you supported Power 4. I like your vibe. Okay, and so because they did not cultivate this led to a string of failure for them, and they're just not going to be doing very well at Power 4. I mean, they are just going to be getting it from every corner and every angle. It's not going to go well. All right. When it comes to their goals, their accomplishments, what they're trying to get, whether it's clout, whether it's having a good reputation, because they stood in the way of your reputation, because they wanted to dim your light and dim your shine, they're going to be dealing with some serious energies of limitation and inertia in their lives. And that's what I'm seeing in the cards for you, Power 4. If you've enjoyed this reading, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching and bring your energy here. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. I love to chat. Take good care of yourself, and I'll catch up with you at the next one. Bye.